one tiemi asana wo ba ha wa ba bedu kromi ha wo pusa ho se e kwan ben e na abefa so abenya nkrata wo ti se ambulance kura ye pi na wo ye ma so na wo pe ba bi atena me pacho me pe ba bi ntete me pacho me pe ba bi nyina woni abona skin pain abompuni mpu ya frabness skin pain ebusia eni daso ebusia ni daso no ana na anadwi wote hei me ne lawyer ena ebetena ha ne ne wadidi nkomo kwan a obefa so a ekromi ha wo so sedie be hye wafomoma wo kwa adwuma you be bold enough to go to work obi wo won so a wote kromi ha wo ne nkrata pa enso nioma mienu miensa bi atochema ewo enkrata ne ho ya brene letter say won nkrata ne eje fru sem I am not talking about the skilled workers enye skill worker for nko ene eje mon nkrata efri mon sem obi wo wa wo kra indefinitely to remain yetimije ne nkrata efri ne sem obi wo kra British passport yetimije ne nkrata efri ne sem obi wo ho so a owo British passport enso British passport na ekra no eye wujade eye kuntunkuni ontimi mfa ntukwan ontimi mfa nko ba bibiara obi kra British passport odi atodan ewo kromi ha enso British passport na ekra no eye wujade eye nsamanfo nkrata obi bebusa no se ma bana nsamanfo nkrata so ene de ba de ene mekiro ne British passport na ekra no ontimi mfa ntukwan British passport na ekra no ontimi mfa nko ba bia eno ye omo a ebia obi ekodi aduro ebia obi ye nkrata watena ha 20 years or ye nkrata nipa na tena ha home office from fi no na waka kire ne lawyer say I am sick and tired of this country. I want to move on. I want to go back to Ghana. I want to go back to Nigeria. I want to go back to my original motherland. Ne nipa no wo tuni ntoma no wo ene me ka wasem na watu ne ntoma no wokọ enti nipa ne ko ye na no na fikese mu fo atro ne lawyer ana say efikese mu fo atro representative e de masa nipa no was nipa ne meje ne nkrata onfa ne photo bra onfa ne passport bra nipa ne ni kromi ha enti no na nipa kro na wo chi ne mu ma no waton no the amount osekofa photo bra. The reason why you can say who from Krata, they say you don't know any genesis of that enkrata. You don't know the roots of that enkrata. It is enkrata no waje and so won't me fan ko baby biara. Waje wan hwe ya obi o wa no akwa akowu. Wawu yes beju obi birth certificate wa akowu wo ni kura wo free so enipa ni birth certificate ni e de ama na de akoye enkrata ne kura. Wo de awufu enkrata enenam. Wo de age British passport and so won't me fa into point. Me pacho woni abona skin paint tansia eya share ne fifro mo wo beti immigration process na what to anamo se woni patro no wo yesai kofo ni bia na what to anamo entinye wo mo woni nkrata nko ena ne abona skin paint etena se ewo legal hours eso ena wo bi wo ho so a wo kromi ha woni nkrata wa wo kromi ha wa wo beni bi woni bi wo kro ni bi eya wo say I just saw body 10 years asana akra no ababenya enkrata me patcho there be we wrong so wo ba e wo kromi ha na so wo tene kromi ha na se koti echu na puni nkrata obeni nkrata ukunu ni nkrata ye chi wadu be kofie me ba matena se de na me mama kwaba enti me patcho she ne frobi me ma wo bibiara akwaba me da wo twedi amponyankopon abase yi adom ase se enne nsoso no wapo ye chidom edi enne day ache ye ebio enne eye brand new week na ye de bosome eye toso 9 a month of April eba na wiye April to be glorified enne ye last Friday or so ewo a month of April emu enti ye nyina ye kase rade da wase se rade apo ye chidom ama enel soso me no me no tachere mada abodwiem emoja edi emogusane ako ewutem se mike no woso emoja edi emu ewusane obi a waka me ho bia no George obaso a na wo okeke asare obaso a na no ane se wode wonsa good eye na wode wonsa ne tape ma mo hwe me ewo TikTok no mo baso a mo tape Zulu obaso a Queen Zulu Queen obaso a na tape ayem ene Monday obaso na wo tape eso na naba obaso na wo tape ene ye Monday yes madam ase oba so ana o tap so erade enhiramo obia sorry me pacho me the number ne beto ho oba so a Alfred oba so Alfred ado oba so a na wo de wo number no tap so oba so a bi o him a oba so a na o tap so enti ene eye Monday me ne lawyer Emi de atena eye dwumedie ni so last Monday of a month of eye April to be glorified enti awrade wode ya baby oni ye diniye Ebenezer how far you have brought us eno no enti me pacho ubaswa feel free ye be phone lines atum ye be din komo bebre aha say wo pese okofa wo kunu pese okofa wo yire wo pese okofa wo ma edo mo ba aburuchire eye United Kingdom wo kromi ha na emom wo ba aburuchire no uja wo yire ne wo ma e wo Ghana afei na urade aye wadom wanya enkrata sister brother da bia mitumofo se wo ba na wonya akwanya se wo kofa wo ma ba akofo mo bra UK emra ana UK law no eye ebusuya enye extended family eye ebusuya eye husband wife and children you law no eye extended family you for no omu penipa you for to say Ghana you mra to say Africa wo worry Ghana ni a wo worry na busuafo nyina but British law is not like that. British emra eye wo yire wo kunu wo ma asa eno ano no nipa miensa ewe eno ano no enti se wo be kromi ha na wo ye yiyu ni akwanya wo ho e de ma wo se wo worry yiyu ni ana wo ye yiyu ni akwanya wo ho se fa wo busuani bra akwanya wo ho se fa wo ma bra fa wo kunu bra wo maame a wo fa ne bra wo ye Britain ni na wo won krata na waja wo ma e wo Ghana e na wo ba aburuchira sister me pacho me bibi nsu kwan se wo beboa busuani na ade na ba se wo de wo ba beba bra se wo de wo yire beba edi enti na wa ba aburuchire na wo mpesa wo de wo yire beba aburuchire na wo mpesa wo de wo kunu beba aburuchire na wo mpesa wo de wo ma beba aburuchire me pacho friend lawyer Emi enam benie wo pesa wo de wo kunu ba wo pesa wo de wo yire ba wo pesa wo de wo ma ba me pacho tena se na dwene ho ne friend lawyer Emi wo be ya yen ntam because ekromi ha emra no esesande bia skill worker for na mo kromi ha ne enye wo bia ene ntime mfa ne mama muntie me abra wo mode mra ne ba ye se wo ye skill worker wo ntime mfa wo dependent ma no wo kromi ha dada ansana emra no ba wo timi de wo baba ento ye skill worker me pacho tutumrika ne kofa wo babra na emom o kofa na ba ko hu lawyer ansa because o ye still skill worker na wo kofa wo baba sese ya enuama wo mubusa wo no wan hwe ya na ekwa affect wo nkrata wo ya application e de ba aha dada enti mesra wo ye skill worker me mo bi nka kire wo se sa amra ne ye twam me pa cho wa wo kromi ha dada sa amra no e ba ye na wo wa ha dada you are entitled to bring your children into United Kingdom. Sa emra no affect you. Enti mesra wo pese wo kofa wo baba. Wo pese wo kofa wo kunu ba as a skill worker. Wo pese wo kofa wo dependent ba. Na time emra ne ba ye no na wo hadada. Mesra frɛ lawyer Emi number ye 077 87 lawyer Emi obebu ya santoa obewi mire di mira frɛ mira kanche mira pusu mira me pacho lawyer Emi number eye Abinels solicitors ene mire no obetwetwe nkomo lawyer mu ya santoa lawyer mu pabere lawyer mu a wadere what you say Florence what you say lawyer number ye 07787 327-985 lawyer Emi number 07787-327-985 me pese me ma number mienu amana ye wa adwene mu prekesen eno ntime ma wo number of me no kase wo phrases a ombe buku appointment ama lawyer Emi me pacho o pese wo kofa wo ma edo mo ba ehu nyame eno ntina meeting kan aka mo na mo wo kromi ha dada wo ye skill worker na wo wa ha dada emra ne ba ye se wo bi entime mfa ne dependent ma na wo ha dada dia wo ya entitled so wo di wo dependent eba. Lawyer Amy number is 07787327998. 077 o phrases ya na on be booki appointment na ne lawyer akasa. 077 lawyer Amy. Okay. 07787327998. Abinel solicitors and any normal ba betwetwe nkomo to betimi afre lawyer Amy. One maka wo madie maka wo kunu die maka wo yere edie. Sa wo hweme na wo kromi ha enne no die ba bedi hu nkomo. Me pacho she video no ye fre wo bi obi a wo hweme bia share ansa na mebo mudin na ma acknowledge mo no ehia me pawo chow share video no na fre obi biara wo kromi ha wo ninkrata all right anything wo ninkrata na wo United Kingdom na ekwan ban e na wo befa so a wo benya nkrata in genuine way how wo betimi right will stay in this country and then numere ya business campaign me lawyer aba obi a wo ti kromi ha na wo din kofo nkrata na ye adwuma mesrew me mane nya wo de se wo do obi nkrata ye adwuma wan kasa pe wo de akwanya e wo ho e de ma by law in this country is a criminal offense se wo do obi nkrata e be ye adwuma ye chiwa you can go to jail obo betimi de watum ye chiwo se wo do obi nkrata ye adwuma omo de obe kofie but before they will remove you from this country no obedem me pacho boa wo ho ne busa wo ho se ekwan ben e na wo befa so a ubenya enkrata me pacho last number no sweet 077 87327985 077 lawyer Amy number 87327985 lawyer Amy number ekwan ben na be so a wo benya nkrata 1 ekwan a wo hweme ana wo tie me oni nkrata me pacho wo do bi na tifie oni nkrata onye Ghana ni kura na mesra wo share video no ma no onye Ghana ni a share video no e ma no na ka kire ne se omra metie undiluted immigration legal wo hwem wo TikTok of wo bi an tap so mon tap so nyesa nkomo ne yemi o Evelyn Doris obaso sweet girl sweetie wo ba wa share mo baso ama mo hwe wo TikTok no mon tap na wo tap ne ne bully no adoso Ghana 43 ye wo se woni nkrata sene ye treat you different sene ye bully wo ye different mo so mo ni nkrata ya mo so mo ate sane nipa no wakasakura ne eye different wo de wo nwene wo ho oba ye ncheye wo de wo nwene ne ho abetena kroma 30 years wo ben krata e kira kwan enye wa obi o wa ye nkrata ya oya ye fama no enkofo di ne sika mesrew woni abana skin pain atanase woti kromi ha ekwa ben na abefa so abenya nkrata eno na ene lawyer emiaba oba be kire game ene ye bedi nkomo efa a journey to a citizenship ho but answer na ebeko ho no ekwan a wa woti krom a wo befa so a wo benya nkrata ene say either say one ubedi adro in a genuine way in rightful way how to obtain right to live in this country in genuine way not in any devious way rightful way ekromi ha so wo fa dubious way nya nkrata ye besa je free munso even if you take about 100 years they will still get you. So go on the rightful channel. Fa kwan papa so ne fenya won krata. Enkofo bebre aya ware amene ya jo won krata from nsem. Enkofo bebre aya ware amomu omoyere omu omukunu omo 5 years aso wo say omo retain wo right to live in this country and now say omo 5 years aso wo so omo omo indefinite to live in this country but because of omo omoyere omo omukunu eniome bia ye basa binti no omo nkrata no aye waste 5 years no aye waste and until I'm advising you say go for it on the rightful way. Pekwan papa so obtain your right to live in this country in the rightful path, not in any devious way. Don't do any fake documents. Say bank statement, proof of address, me pacho debi. Enti kwanya wo befa so a ubenya wo nkrata wo kromi ha. Ebi ye one, either say ubedi adru. Edi adru no Ghana yen animwa yen. Obi beka cho se kodi adru ya amfa ma wo kra na eye, but make sure say edi adru na wo kodi no, sit down with your lawyer. Pay a new lawyer, pay good lawyer. Lawyers no ebi nye papa. And there is no doubt. Lawyers no obu wa won kan no kranchire wo sika no wo hia, wo sika na wo je. Enti onka so ye Nigeria lawyer, or ye Zimbabwe, or ye Ghana ni kura wo kuro mu ni lawyers no. Obi wo wa no kura pa no won kan chire wo. Enti me a balance campaign meka chire wo se page new lawyer. Ebi na me de na brebo no. Okọ lawyer ne wa wo se lawyer me pese. Me hu say e die nkrata na me ye entitled for it. Obetimi e die duro. Ghana udi edru a very difficult. Enti die na wokofa so a wobedi edru. Either say bia example political asylum, bia ekonomi ha wo ye gay obetimi e die dru, wo ye lesbian obetimi e die dru. Human trafficking obedi waba ena nipa no kwanya nipa na fa so a o treat you no obetimi agina so e die dru. Wo circumstance ena be kire say obetimi e die dru. And I want to mean dear Drew. Ghana is a peaceful country, as I repeat myself. It is a way a Ghanaian. Now pursue with dear Drew. Kuhu lawyer. Pay a good lawyer. Lawyer our kind of cray. When a lawyer means tenacity. Ko as a lawyer. Me pursue me dear Drew me a Ghanaian. This is my state. This is my condition. This is my situation. Lawyer no will advise you. If you say a dear draw na wo kodi di agent krata na de bema wa de bema. Mind you, say wo kwa kodi adra. You have a stages. So when your application to a free of charge, ba wo lawyer beju uska. So wo di adra. First stage no obeko or first interview screening. Obeko first, second, third screening. And na interview no mo friend is screening. Interview no very tough. A big interview, a big screening, it may take you 1 to 2 hours. A big graduate may take it 3 hours screening, interview, bumper to bumper, boot to boot interview. And to what person would dear drag, you prepare yourself very well. You speak to a rightful lawyer. Only lawyer mean kasa. Nekotna lawyer mean lawyer. Mpacho meaning krata ukrumia. Na me pese me dear Drew. Me situation ni lawyer ne bebusa say e kwan be so na pese wo dear Drew. Na waka o situation, o circumstance actually no. So lawyer no ebe assess no waka kire say yes it's good. No, it is not good. Untimi nyina we so dear Drew. Enti e bibi foforo. 2, e kwan ya be fa so abenya nkrata wo krom a e bia wa wo ba. Ma mo ne nkofo anyima nyinsen no monye woni obi anyem nyinsen no wonhwehwe akora na kira kwan ompe nyinsen no because you don't want any responsibilities. Woni obi awo atoagu because why Britain de wo akora no aban ne hwe no enti die na wo se me ne obi awo a me be hwe me mba na magyan nkora abo single mothers eso na mo giant kura na mo dia bo ema so na be ma no wadwane na okọ enkofo bebre awo ma ewo kuro ha they don't know their whereabouts. But it's about the time our lawyers mon kan kire me man the truth, nothing but the truth. Be me bi ba wo ho na wo ka kire wo say lawyer me no obi a wo 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Na mesero akora na me pese me kohwehwe na wo ye lawyer na wutie mi a emuwa sa nipa no don't help that person so won kohwehwe akora no because by law or who kwan so wonya access to the child but while shakora no wapo ma me ne kora nyem ye na ebi odwane ja no obi o wa ne mpena ne yire nyema na ne ho ye ne tan pay any responsibility. Bia men kasa wo ye obi kunu a wo no obi nkonyem wo no obi nkotwempana bia wo yere no wakofa na yire chi no obi akonyem pese na yire behu enti wo se akora no mempe menye no bra wo beji no by force because unim sa wo yere na wo no obi kotwempana enti your responsibility as a man one ye honest to your wife na wakwa akodi sabio enkwose asem akotwe wo mpena na wagye nyinsan abo wo ba so obi wo a wo se mempene menkogye akora no obi wo so kora wo ni yire o ye single dot bema wo se mempe wo ba no wo ba ne ka so onyema pa na odi ne ti akemura wa pam wo ba no ommo treat no anyhow oba ne dia worewo esun na wo no ahwe ne ba akura ni bedi di obehye pampas obekos obeye nothing because economy has sabi ebinom nim say akura ni be ma ne benefit into wo ya aban dia aban no ne wo yire kodaaye aban no ono ne wo yire ekodaaye ene wona nanyem to ono ne hye no nemo se openkrata dia utimi yusu oba no edeje oba na wanhye no me sikin twa eno nti wo mpema asem ti pema asem wate but I will tell you the truth enti pema asem wate me ka no kra kire wo ko enko bra because bra ukọ na ye den no matter how lawyers no ukọ kro be ka cho se bra bonus campaign ho be gil advice azan waba enti ya ba ma me ka no kra nchiro so that ubetu mirika na wo responsibility as a father so wo pese wo gina wo baso edi jinkrata ewo kromi ha ye frɛ bibi parental relationship or parental responsibilities. It is a wo lawyer ho bia wo ba na akora no 3 years ni 5 years ni 10 years ni wo hu akora ne da bia wo pese wo kɔhwɛ akora ne kora wo ma me so ma wo nhwɛ no wo ne lawyer mi ntena se by law wo ho kwan se wo kɔhwɛ wo ba no na me no lawyer nke mebusa se die nti na ma me ne mpese obem wo hu akora no se bi akora no eye wo choice na wo po nyinsan na mi ni wachi nkohwehwe akora ne mo enti se maame no na mpese obehu akora na by law emre mu no wo ho kwan sa akora no wo hwe bibie enti wo ba wo kromi ha as a father as a mother utimi gina wo ba so enya nkrata enenye akora bia ya wo ni kromi ha bia lawyer mi twa wane de lawyer mi why late pa why late physical late abonus campaign ni bro for physical late TikTok for monta pitape na monche gift na moncha ade na moncha ade bia akora no eni papa mami obi eni wa wo nkrata emamu worry so far as Awurade aye wadom na wo kromi ha yes of course so wo kromi ha na kotichi wodu be kofie na woni nkrata akora ni bi papa ni bi mami ni bi na immigration echewa yedu be kofie it doesn't matter so wo kromi ha unless say akora no wo nkrata nemom se papa ni bi mami ni bi na mu gina akora ne so a emra wo ho ne se akora ni nya 5 years wo kroma before na ye 7 years ena o masesa ne dia ba mfie num enti very good akora ni nya mfie num wo kromi ha before na nke be ma ne 2.5 years but se see ma akora no indefinite leave to remain enti wo ma mene ne papa no muni bia utimi gina akora ne so na wanya bi sa wo ba ni tene kroma no nya 10 years a obetimi a register wo ba no to become a British register akra no to become a British enti me pa cho so wo satisfaction ma won lawyer mi enkasa bia na woni nkrata ba wo ba wo kromi ha lawyer mi number ye 077 8732 7985 077 8732 7985 ana say bia woni ba wo relationship bi me pa cho there bi papa me ni Germany me wo UK ba lawyer wo ye global o person ni lawyer mi kasa me pa cho me nya lawyer please me ena me share Abnel solicitors for a t-shirt no. I am not a lawyer, but I have a knowledge about law. Enti me pacho o person lawyer emi kasa o Germany o person oba ha oni ne nkasa ana wo oba e wa ha because of oba no nti o person wo relocate what ma mo continent no mo wo ma e wo kromi ha do ye free yi mu because of mo ma no mo betimi abetena ha ye adwuma. Yes, of course. Enti woni lawyer nkasa lawyer mi number me pacho mo ntro enye me na me ye lawyer no me pa mo cho me di abana. Lawyer me a number is 077 87 985 and now dear mommy I made a mouth. Yeah, program ya to me after what friend your money will be casa. I am not a lawyer. Let me repeat myself. I am not a lawyer. The pacho. I am not a lawyer, but Abenes Kimpe Radiadum, Monsieur Mra. Enti me wimre di mra fremra kanche mra pusumra edware mra busa mra semra wo kwen enu nti me lawyers no omo aben omuni mra happy olive enemy ko ba bi say happy day okay da kon anadi no light me ti me patcho yes lawyer me number no sabre ya omo focus Abigail Poko, what if you brought the child from Ghana and the child is under 5 years? Under 5 years, I was say Accra had the half of the age. Half of the age, and son Accra bit me and Krata. Nini na only lawyer me and Kasa. Book appointment, ne free lawyer me, or Betsia Mabani say tap. Enti no enkrate mu no lawyer ba enti meja meto aso what's a lawyer edi nkomo no ma mo hwe me wo TikTok no mo like so ba so you like it you share tap so yes mo tap so wo bia wo kromi ha ene ye di nkomo afa a journey to a citizenship ehom ene two obi biara wo kromi e wonni nkrata Ekwanya wo befa so wo benya nkrata a journey to a citizenship no meaning say ekwan ben na wo befa so a wo be free wo Ghana passport no wo be graduate wo ho e bia wo kura indefinite leave to remain ye nyina ye nim say emramu e wo kromi ha obia go obia a dream and it's so be holding British passport one day obenya British passport ekwan ben na wo be kromi ha ubenya ekwan ben na abefa so abenya o British passport so winning krata o first passport abe hodi no ebetumi aye British passport anasa British passport no there is a journey to a citizenship Abenes Kimpe ma ben wo mrem me ana me kreti me you me say a journey to a citizenship so see ana me kaso na mu say a journey ampa lawyer me lawyer me ukunu we
around.
Let me. Aha, good. Me patrona me su ukunu we.
Oh, around. Oh, here.
Oh, here.
That's right.
Frene bra. Ansa ni ashase. Ene lawyer me aye late pa 822. Na wa bre me amene ne kasa na mse de bi lawyer we enye nipa ho do pa ne Ghanaian community mo ho do Ghana for me lawyers no mo do mo ke ne wo metena se kra British passport graduation. Oh, that's good. Yeah, beba ho. Aye, lawyer. Mosh wo hwe me amepa chobra why. Na wo yire nem so why so down. Be man the keys ni en hase na me mpe lawyer wo baso na wanim wa muna onye program. Afen na wo so some ka so okunu make isi wo sere. Aha. Afen na lawyer mi wo sere. Oba ye ne nanim nye wa bre. Ai jo mo beti ne nka ka ejo mo beti ne nka wate wa bre me ne ka so tim sa wa bre enye yise bagana fo mo hodo enti lawyer mi se na e wo se yetena se bronyen Easter oko holiday ati ase esumi nyina wa bre Easter Monday ebe program na ma she me wig na me te wo twa lawyer mi log in sister abena Sister abena me ready esanka ene Easter ene Easter nyem no nyina na tena aka say Easter ye be ye okay was what your kid is 7 years about what George lawyer number is 077 8732 7985 bring oba O person wo do ba be krom ha oba meji British book o wo kromi ha anasa wo ba ni ninkrata papa ninkrata lo ye mi beti ni say ta aha ojaba ka chire afia ge udi ye me de lo ye me pa chochi adofo lo ye mi wan hwe ha enne me no benya asem
You patriotic.
mesrew minim se wa bre wani munya me fe kura enne de mi wi a me no ne mo hye be kasa. No. Aha wo ba na ni good mode you have to change good mode. E was say we change. Aha. La ye me ba church adofo de etiefo mo ma ne volume ne mra so kakra ma me. Wo be chi adofo ne etiefo na at the same time no wa kire kwan e de am.
All right, we chia at the phone at say for be a motion ene I then 28th of April 2025. Another time with Abnas campaign for the legal hour with Abinel solicitors. Ye danyamyase say ya babium. Now ene we are going to talk about something ye be bon komo British citizenship. Very, very important because what backroom ha, whether you are on a Ghanaian passport or even you don't have a passport at all, you don't have a nationality, whatever be the case, no. A lot of people, I would say, a lot of people prefer, say, Omoba Croways, no, they would like to naturalize as British. Omba per se, passport, no, a bit beka omunsem. So then what do we do? How do we build up to get to the place? Again, I say, yeah. I be get it to some place. You be then British passport. Well, there's a way, and I'm going to explain it. May explain it in depth. Abinel solicitors and Kasankasano. We are based in the heart of East London. So me can't the heart, me can't Stratford Crosso. Ube drew Stratford Station. Within 5 minutes, what drew your office? And yeah, you were 14 Claypool Road, London E15 to RJ. We specialize in areas that you are all interested in because areas of expertise but family member it does not matter what it may be when it comes to immigration free crow way so the generation before free Ghana my there's always an interest. There may be an interest. The areas we specialize in a bay of interest to you or to any stakeholder. Until we specialize in immigration, family law, and housing law. So we are here for you, delivering and serving the community in all of these areas. Right. Thank you so much, Sister Abna. Thank you. Thank you.
Enumere ya obekyerew baby a owo na one no atwetwe nkomo yo lawyer medasi bebre nyame ehira lawyer mi TikTok ho no ya na wa mute ho kakra de amame still no won't me voice every device name every computer name won't me voice
it's a voice
ba wo no o kasa so mentie wo hu free TikTok and now YouTube and now Facebook. Okay, that's fine. And to me, Pamocho me da will be say lawyer. Emi ma mubusa say Stratford don't repeat no. Mesra eh TikTok for mama makasa bro. Nambe ma boba mpamocho mesra mo. Rich love a 077 07787 a 32 7985. Bachomanya a 077 lawyer Amy 07787 a 32 oh Benedicta Medase a 32 7985 and now would dear mommy I made a mouth. Ye program ya betting a book appointment. Abnell solstice made I say, yo, and I'm a Gia Fena do a feeding at our first time I want yet tenacity near me did the Abanas campaign. A year Monday EV Bia no ye ne lawyer we are son to a lawyer mu pabene ye ne just ordinary lawyers emaha ye ne solicitors qualified solicitors ena etena ha. And then your lawyers said your mabon Abnes campaign platform so dear Mekan nebem the mission agina. Aha say wo pemra ye wimre dimra fremra ekanchemra ya ye shemra kadie. Ye ne lawyer mu ya santoa oda ememe mu ne no etwetwen komo emra de adwa de bia. Me pa wo chow ene ye dim komo. Oye eye Abnel success omo ye housing e bia wo pedan. Ye de what to cancel down so what check. Wo fie damp wo ho wo yare baby a wo tie no wo ma doso wo pese enyumfiri wo enyumfiri ho me pacho wo ne lawyer Emi enkasa wo landlord situ unfair removal me brofo ameka unfair se to free fie ho me pacho ne lawyer Emi enkasa me lawyers ni nyina ono ni obi a wo ye housing. So wo frame me lawyer ni bia lawyer bia ne ye adwuma no ka che o say house no betimi ayama o ka che say Abanes in place oboa apart from lawyer Emi oye family law oye family law o person ye divorce o person wo ware e wo kromi ha wo kofa wo kunu kofa wo yire ede ne ba ana say aware ni mu no magai na mo che japade me pacho o friend na wo be ye dia ma akora wom o pese wo ko hu wo ma oba ne se da bi me ma wo hu me ma be ma se da bi me ma wo hu me ma me pacho ne lawyer Emi enkasa eno ye immigration every area of immigration biano Abnel solicitors bi enti ene numre no ye ba bedin komo afa omo a omuni nkrata ekwanya a wo befa so a wo benya nkrata e wo kromi ha enna mo nsoso a mo wo nkrata e wo kromi ha ekwanya befa so a wo be obtain wo British passport a journey to a citizenship ye nyina ye ni mu say e kromi ha say no wo be kromi ha ansa na wo benya enkrata e wo kromi ha sei no ana wo benya British passport no e wo se wonya enkrata e wo se wo kura wa wo kromu eye enkrata ana wa wo kromu passport wo kura Ghana passport e na wonya ansa na watimi enya wo British passport e no le ne lawyer ni ye bedi nkomo from the Genesis to the Revelations abase e kwai ben so e na wo befa so a wo betimi a obtain eye British passport so woni nkrata wo kromi ha na wo hia wo bi a wo ye British na so ware na wo ware nipa na automatically no wo a woni nkrata no wo be ye British holder ana se debi ana se woni nkrata na wo ba ye British oba e hodi British passport a wo maame no ana father na woni nkrata no because of oba a holding British passport no as a mother or as a father you become a British citizen automatically ana say eno so no eye debi ana wo ye EU ni na wo ti kromi ha okra EU passport wa be wo e wo kromi ha automatically no se wo ba ha enura wo ba ha ne na wa wo kromi ha no automatically no wo mother anasa wo akura na wa wo ne ha no because of as a mother as a father who hold a British national EU national passport no se ene na ba kromi ha enra na ba kromi ha 1 year na ba kromi ha na wa ba ba wo kromi ha because of ukra EU passport no automatically no wo ba no British ana eno na ne lawyer e ba bedi ho nkomo ana say ansan na wo benya British passport no e was say wotene kromi ha lawfully for 10 solid years ansan what me benya British passport ana lawfully from the entry na time I wo be kromi ha no e was say wonya won krata 5 years wotene kromi ha lawfully for 5 years and son what me obtain a British passport ana and ye nyina no ya dwene ma ye etime pacho obibiara enter na so na woni lawyer eni nkomo me nkasa emfa overstayer and overseas children or more British passport and now overseas children or more obtaining British passport and no ye another topic altogether enti lawyer me pacho me mo akwa ba aha Alphonse where we lawyer me okay mama men ka say lawyer me ye call lawyer me I did we busy last week and they repeating itself lawyer me ye program o
Sorry.
me ba cho lawyer me ebusuafo no lawyer se ba kono mo mpeke course yi ma me lawyer me makasa mi obeja dia man so o kasa wo phone so
I'm here. I'm here.
okay lawyer where we
Very bad.
okay lawyer device na we bie wo ho no me pa cho mute no na woni me nkasa why yenko
All right. It's a British nationality and naturalization. Bibia esa fa kwan bi so na utumi ye. Bibia sebe you have to have indefinite leave to remain. So naturalize here. Sometimes we get it wrong. So naturalize here. You have to have indefinite leave to remain to move to the next category, which is naturalization. Sometimes nipa timika say, they be say me indefinite crana me apply for British passport. No, that's wrong. And then somebody will also say, hey, now me indefinite yeah, and one say after 1 year me ko me British book. That is also wrong. What is right? They say you have to naturalize into income British passport answer. Can I say you need to naturalize as British? You need to what? Naturalize as British, a British citizen. All right. If you have to naturalize as a British citizen, first and foremost, whether you are under the EU settlement scheme and have got settled status, which is also the equivalent of indefinite, it is a EU family member. I will say settled status. Kaipa said you then have indefinite leave to remain. Maybe we create a 10-year parent route, another 10-year partner route, another 10-year private life route, and also ubetimi adjudant settlement, indefinite leave to remain. Kai said this is the first step into you getting your what? Your naturalization, or for you to apply for your naturalization. The basics, naturalization. You must do the English language test. You must also do what? The life in the UK test as well. So now we've come from point one. When you're settlement, the next stage is to satisfy the English language requirement and the life in the UK as well. Perfect. In your mind, no, we are building up the case, and that is very true. You have to have these things in place. Now, indefinite, no, to me, can say a day after. There are two categories. Make a category one. A day after, worry British ni, but who in a 10-year parent route, no, so will indefinite leave to remain. Me can say preko pe will indefinite leave to remain na British passport. No, it doesn't work that way. However, So what worry British ni yentie ye, because a bit more fear. They are wondering what can be done, what can happen, what are the perks, what are the advantages of marrying Obia or British passports into ene me catch. So what worry Obia or British ni? Or 5-year partner route, so or 10-year partner route, so nyame aye wadom what you indefinite leave to remain. Kai said the next step ne says so would you indefinite now Saturday now would you indefinite no today being the 28th of April 2025 so would you indefinite and then remu and nana pay now would you Kai said what worry British need tea amount to me mechanobium amount to me say ubetimi aye day and naturalize it as British on the same day I will will indefinite leave to remain. And no a special. Not just say we a special or special category. That is for those who have the privilege to have married a British national, whether on the 5-year route or on the 10-year route. What worry EU near sadly no, it does not apply to you. What did not akola or ye British so it does not apply to you. But so what worry British need dear, you have that advantage. Now, moving on to those who have not married a British national. Ono dear wawari EU ni, ono dear wawa British akola, ono dear wawari obi or indefinite leave to remain. Now, on these routes, you would then have to wait for a period of 12 months. 12 months. We're kind of back 12 months. Into end being the 28th of April 2025, we are looking at the 28th of April 2026. And sana naturalization application no ubetimi ayeden ediatum. Now, after say what drew 12 months no, Kai said you need to do your life in the UK. You need to do your English language test. But mesa aka bibi biom ama wate bibia say. The meka when they say apart from say obia ye ewo ho sadie we mra no. But in every rule no, there's an exception to the rule. In the British Nationality Act, no, the 1981 Act now ye crown no. There were exceptions. Sa exceptions no. Ye kase e kan we mramu say we di 65 years and over. Life in the UK test onye. English language test onye. So we obi a ukita a degree taught in English. Ebia uba krumha. Uba has a student. Uba and uba year masters. After when you're indefinite. Almost say the English language requirement, you are exempt. And one can say you are exempt from life in the UK. And no dear, so when 65, you are not exempt. So only any medical condition, mental health or physical health condition, I bet me stop you from passing the life in the UK. You are not exempt. Inti, nipa wedi 65. Nipa nso awo yare bi adremo yare. And our physical health bia and no omuka then you will be exempt or you may be exempt. And you'll be what physical or mental health illness never exempt. The discretion is based on the caseworker. Into moving forward, so why exemption dia and no dia omu the child free say we no need life in the UK, need the English language test. But so unyan D65. Yes. What back from her? One body degree. Ewa Ghana, one channel in English. Ewa UK, one channel English. Next, say, you would have to do the life in the UK. And so you have to do the English language test. Also, in Kofua, omuye exempting. So our majority English speaking countries. So for Ghana, we are not in that category. So you will have to do it if you are not 65 or you don't have a mental health illness or you are not exempt. You would have to do it. Into because lawyer Amy, me dear, addition dear, me din kakra o inti min this sebi British nationality no mean to me life in the UK no mean to me tro English language no mean to me tro Kai say English language crowd trobi. Speaking and listening. And money yo sa. Kai say the life in the UK test, no, a test, be a yes, they ask a series of questions. But in every test, no, so who practice it, the success comes along with it. Inti ensro and then abinel solicitors ye be boamo atremo say mu betimi apase mu betimi aye naturalization no I'm a dang bibia I den adedin. So we've moved on. We are getting to the requirements. Yeah, we are now going into the residence requirements. You can residence at was sitting mu net saying was sitting Ubetna krom hano. Omu person who say for 5 years, you have 5 years continuous residence. Ewo krom ha. Within 5 years, no, you ought to not have spent more than 90 days in each of those years outside the UK. Into uyobia utrakwain. What do indefinite? What mean within the last 5 years? Utna gonna be 6 months, 7 months, 8 months in each year. Kai said naturalization no end me and your portion. They are strict with their residence requirements. It's under the law. 90 days in each year, 5 years. So they want to see your evidence of residency, bank statements, P60s, utility bills, NHS letters, council tax bills, a melody of documents. I won't say fruit, what do you call it? Fruit mix, or different types of fruits. It's the same way naturalization. Presented 5 years. There are specific documents so they come on bank statements, as I said, P60s, utility bills, council tax bills. You're not even sure about the years. Only time I started, time I ended. So Oba Abinel solicitors will help you, will show you the documents you need, because in every application, Makano program so way they be evidence. Only evidence untiminjina. Na Abinel solicitors no your tool for from ashase no say evidence no the be your best friend. Evidence no ne be say o case amuye hwam ana away the entimi enye ye. Nti yenkai say we work with the spirit of evidence. We don't work without it. Now, may go into the most topical area bia obia tia rade metimia passes our requirement way. It's called the good character requirement. So good character no the omo pa che say usu ne wo ban and omo pe say obi be naturalize obi a ne suban nya omo fe e say usuban ye fe ansa na naturalization no ebetimi ayewodia. Now, subai bain or moka, the good character, and almost say, character, I say ye fair, say characters, I say character ye fair, yen can't be a sabe, obey acted to say, or you're very good, or pretended, but behind closed doors, no, or yen yama be brave. Just you unpaid debt, see, bankruptcy, why a bankrupt and kasa. We're filing for bankruptcy, liquidation. Say, sikasem and fair business. You're striking it off because not wako riaska from bank. So many ill mannered in Yama air koso. Or penalty points or red lights. Not on my brand of penalty points, 3 points. Speeding. Omo brand 3 points. Now we the following 2 months. Omo some brand points. And yen him said points no and it is called totting. Trade. Coin him. And remember some of these motoring offenses no. It can affect your application for naturalization. It may affect you. Maybe will be a council tax. So won't that. Only the council tax liability about £200, £230. So when they say anybody, minchia. Now almost sending red letters a befie, almost sending letters a befie, almost sending council tax liability reminders befie. Eventually, no only court. Eventually, no only court, no county court judgment. CCJ at Woodin. So all of this, a more show. Maybe we are beer generally no. Who disturb the peace? When you be we are calm. Over social media, so my apologies. Over social media, so soon you will buy. You are always being reported. Who community no more police? They be no more befie. They ne in tokwa aso them. They be no more befie. Omo befie one day no more warning and a caution. Kai say ni nyanom etimi affect your application. Now, Obibe bisa say okay, I bet me affecting my application. I mean, it's 6 years ago, and non swear. It's 6 years ago, and non swear be affecting me. Well, met me I say in every naturalization application. So oh yeah, because some person who say who was by panel, I said offense be our committee no. You must disclose. They will ask for dates, dates. Dates not to meet, share, and send. You will be you can say the words are it speaks 1,000 words. BBI see or it speaks 1,000 words. Me can't asem say I may try what drink their copy be so. Na say who ya drink drive. Drink drive no. Who ya 3 years ago. 3 years ago, no, or 4 years ago. But since then, you will be a friend of mitigating factors. Since then, why a course about drink driving and its awareness and the dangers to drink driving. Oh, a certificate, no. Sebi, onye persistent offender. Obia, or yene once, now assign a biom. Just like if you are an abuser. Domestic violence, fear. Debia, oh, sign police. Debia, if it's a one-off incident, there's a way as that's why we are talking about the power of persuasion. You will be a friend of persuasion. Who the 2 paper swap. There's no way I won't bet me I refuse it because said you what can no dead. And it's not just in what is said, but it's through your conduct. Oh, nebium. Sorry. Ebi krana why a shoplifting? Why a bit that 5 years ago? But since then, who court, who tria fine. Since then, no, what sakra? Many bibia oyebium. What sakra completely? Me, so they are same way, but to me same one. It's like you've given me liquid gold. Said they make polishing. Who fat paper no? Who say nah, this person no, they be a good standing person. I say you a citizen, I say you the man will be because me money yet the mom. But me here obia sebi my cancer shoplifting. Why you bear 4 times? Hey, or call it Tesco's, or call it Primark, or call it Marks and Spencer. I know the me here no sami patcho because to me using mis persuasive techniques. But if it's a one-off thing, obia to me phone, obia to me, trouble. Nobody is perfect. Omuso munimsa. It may use it more guidance. And they are not making sure say sebi. The application is considered duly. These are things we consider. But apart from that, we have to know, say, recently known so, Emrana Society, Bano, is they are looking at, say, Ubaha as an illegal immigrant. Illegal. Because say illegal, nipa be brave free continent ni buy. Passport kra na omu krabi. Omu dia anyway, omu kra obi fufro dia. Na omu kita EU passport but na passport no. Say enya omu dia. Omu di ba krom ha. Omu ye store away for enya bibia yesre very serious illegal migrants, illegal, omu tina kan mu on say continent so there. So would bet me the car a free France about UK mine. Ubet me the car a free Belgium about UK mine. Ninyano ubet me afa the ferry. Ubet me afa way the train Eurostar. Udu car no be kwasiye na edewa bakrom ha. Me pachon. Nipa bi wo ho a odi obi sumesi akosia sumesi passport ne bae. Ono emo no ne din dey fo a. But the akosia EU passport ne ba krom ha. Inti ono de ohwe the left, ohwe the right, oni any record with home office say or jinkrata and also a visitors visa de ba krom ha. Omo se wo fa sa kwan so de ba ya. Na kakran we di 20 years. Kakran mama 2.5. But 1 year, 2.5, a basic 10 years. Ukoji we indefinite no. Omo kase was some random no, was sa change no. Sa nipa no, on to me apply for British passport. A very serious thing. A very serious. Ana omo sa kase nipa omo ba krom ha, right? Omo di anya omo indefinite. But kwanya omo fa so bae no, omo bae, but omo be overstayer at some point. Omo be check the data who overstaying no. It says overstaying no na 2018. Yes, but 2023 now saka indefinite leave to remain. It also 2024 gidi ukoye indefinite when yaje. Ukoye indefinite leave to remain. Almost say umbetwa unsakakra umbeshe 10 years from the data you overstayed. It is a who overstay in 2018. They are looking for you to get your British to naturalize as British in 2028. Counted 10 years from the time we overstay. Sadly, very important. Very, very important. Sadly, at Abinal solicitors, you were quite so you better so a better din because EU for be brace and a two me catch why EU for a two because in the past no. So uye EU near ube worry obia or oya Ghana near oya overstay no. Ubetimi aye application ni nya wo crowway so abra unko Ghana po. Inti why overstay kra no ubetimi aware aje wo Ghana marriage certificate. Na a crowway so why overstay but omo worry say no omama 5 years. That was those days. Ansana emrano ebesisaye in 2020 no. Inti nipa bebre wo ho a sebe na omune EU ni aware. Omu ware no na nkrata omuni bi. Na sa woni nkrata e you are an overstayer. Na ushe the British nationality omu guidance na home office guidance na the guide to naturalization. Who say sadly in 10 years omu di punish you if uba as an overstayer. But at Abinel solicitors, you were quite biswa ye bet me anam so abwao amawaje naturalization abra uba and you are an overstayer. Because you were mrabia eba ya any gate sadly no. Because Kai said some people no and yes say umbet me approve say no muye durable partners. Okay, right? So at the time, maybe I not omunyan ye omuasetna. But before then, no, they were either married or they were durable partners. Not just say, or those say omuasetna no, or those say no omuni visa no. They were here legally according to the old EU regulations no. Ninyanum no, ways that ye bet me ajna mo amount aje naturalization amount. Ebi krana sa nipa na worry no. Na at the time no onye British. No kita German passport. But afi wabe British. 2 years ago, no mo de mrabi ba said, so he is nipa na at the time said, Uba no no ye overstay, but afe nipa na wa worry no or you British ni, and so mo consider on that point. Into there are so many tricks and routes. I will bet me at your application ye. If you are what if you will be a catcher of 10 year day, who dream one, but Sandy Pana or worry no craft, you are very British. Sandy Pa worry no time I worry no name crater, but now worry, now we are family member. It's now who chrome her legally. Ninya no ye jina so argue point no mamo ama naturalization applications no ejina because kai say ye won kofo bebia won naturalization enjina o omo ye de call ya na ade na abutu omo ye de call ya na naturalization application no abutu ebi mu kra wo ho a omo ye naturalization application omo person omo sisa omo din ebia since time a omo ba krom ha afi omo ware na omo the documents ni nya marriage certificate ni nya but one ana what the change of name but one yet the correct steps to ensure say on the naturalization certificate no edinun subesisa it's not just say adena butu uba abinel solicitors ye bet travel kwan bia ubetimi afaso wo name asesa ebia name no na wo no e wo hunhun bi wo ho a umpesa wo be use bio ebia name na wo no is related to some traditional chieftaincy umpesa wo ye Christian afi umpesa wo be associated ebia wo name na asesa due to marriage asesa ebia asesa due to divorce asesa possess sad name now who using what adopting or echo with naturalization certificate so but we show Ghana book ma your name is different also why an intema change of name did Uji said that is all they can't said that is not all who the quite a bit to uba abinel solicitors you bet show pine na uba faso you see naturalization no is close to my heart why because bibi touch makuma because it's the final stage of immigration success. It's the pinnacle of success in your route or your journey to being a national of this country, to being a citizen of this country. Udru sa prempensono, what ended your immigration journey? It has ended. It is finished and concluded. Into a womakuma super say. A true stage na se enye yi a meka kyerɛw se be yi a meka kyerɛw min dada o min fan dada o se be yi a me den meka kyerɛw because sikasema so a ewo mu no emoye dru 1006 na kyerɛ omo santum it is a naturalization application na is one touch at Abinel solicitors. In fact, naturalization you need application back failing any British overseas applications no this registration in ya no efa who the passport application braya no omo tough time ye jina mu pe na de no bibia solve it. It's the track record, it's the success, it's the brilliance in emrana ye nim ho nti me pacho and no na me wo mamo this evening so more questions are me wo hamamo same answer bibia. God bless you all. Thank you.
Yeta lawyer Amy ase wakasa bebre wakasa very good. Your lawyer me patcho me wo questions am me person me busa wo few questions bi na yetoa yeso na me pick calls wo a wo person ne lawyer kasa bia no numbers am di bedi dwumedi 00447502422799 00447502422799 three numbers no nyina me de ye adwuma ana say wo person wo hwe me wo TikTok wo person wo ba so a o request ya yebefa lawyer number is 07787 lawyer Emmy ye program na wo frɛ na ana sabre ya wo from be book appointment 07787 327985 07787327985 lawyer actually ye mo anase a journey to a citizenship a point ben and I will be for swa wo kromi ha wo benya wo British passport wa maye hu say emre mu no ansa na wo benya British passport o kromi ha no e wo se wo gina enkrata so visa ata se wo ware wo kunu wo yire na wonya enfie enum enfie num no waje wo indefinite leave to remain e bia wo papa nya British wo ma nya British unyo automatic British na emomo no wo free Ghana na ba ye wo the visited visa na ba ye wo ba be ko school wo the charity visa na ba wo be to onyo wo be bo adoa e na wo ba ha se na wo visa no ewuo ana wo ana se ye ka de ewuo ni first o visa no ewuo enti wo visa ni wu ye no wa be ye overstayer e wo kromi ha ewrade adom during overstayer oni na mu na no e na wo hia be ma wo hia wo ba ye uni na aware no ana se enkura de se wo gina wo ba so aye mfanto nche because wo gina wo ba so na ma 10 years after 10 years no you qualify to become a British enya no ne yeka wo gina wo tina kroma 20 years long stay resident and wo gina so dinya wo 2.5 years unya won krata anasa wo ware and wunya won krata ekwen bia wo fa so wunya nkrata bia no lawyer se mra ne kire se sanse waye overstayer e wo kromi ha no e wo se wo tena ha from the day aye ma wo visa se wo gina wo ba so se wo gina aware so e na wo deje wo visa e wo kromi ha se wo tena kromi ha long stay 20 years and a man krata lawyer said because of we oversteer and son na wo benya won krata no before won sabeti miaka British passport and now wo betimi naturalize it to become a British no and was so wotena have for 10 solid years enti bia wo ware and a man 5 years ha 5 years no etwa wo besa to another 5 years so would you indefinite now would you indefinite now after indefinite leave to remain no wo be sign extra another 5 years making it 10 solid years before wo betimi are registered to become a British. And a lawyer can say good character reference or casafa good character references. So say be wa drink driving no na yama caution and na say you don't court a good character it to go against you or casaba a habitual offense so say be I would be a drink driving near cho near ma 6 point near trim near ma 6 point near trim near ma 6 point near trim some of warning in no it will go against your naturalization. One more de by say no naturalization or makes it a council tax. Ya do court or house rent ya do court. And answer credit card. Bibia debt bia you be pay just say do court no and no affect a good character reference when you are going to take your British passport bia you ma take it wa pack wa ha ya ma take it when ya ma take it when near do court the moment you do be court no ye and what can be say caution or say caution is dangerous than say you do be court be a caution what could we add or can Primark or can Tesco what could we add or Tesco ma me penny more Tesco oh kwa koto aduane or Tesco who drew and no for drink back on the would have give me a chow na ya catch will say me febium or my free police na police aba. Can you project lawyer's number? Okay, maybe na lawyer do you na lawyer ba na police yaba na police yaba becho ewo shop or shoplifting na police na ma caution ni me warning na o mama warning say ko na me wi ade bi ko na Jesus Christ say me ye boni bi sa caution no e dangerous enko fa won court na mu se de wa court ne de banda to so caution no free wo system ni so obo wa beka se 5 years nti ye ma me caution oh me ye drink driving ye ma me caution me ye shoplifting ye ma me caution me kokon ye en ye ma me caution enti en ye me koya application me patcho David woni lawyer emi entena se entwetwen komo lawyer mi can good character na ba social media lawyer what she ma dwena ba social media so Mo a mutiti social media entokwa. Ma mutiti social media mu behave anyhow. Muni mu say yen hweye. Say no America kra no ko visa. Ukra British passport. Now wo your application kwa America. Ye jim wo social media handle bia na they collect it omoje. Enti mo a muti social media wo nana man wo nana ofa unie tika kraka wanu tika kraka entokwa na mo de nkofo naked pictures new pictures ma mo recording nkofo on concern ewo ekromi ha no say no ningina no is come under a good character reference. It's come with the good character reference. Enti me pacho British passport no ne boarding. Enti me otu sikemu. And there was a British passport no a privilege to get it. And ye compulsory say state in my British passport and ye by force. Wo ba wo kromi ha and ye compulsory and ye right. So wo ba wo kromi ha na kra no on krata wo say aban ma won krata ye right. And ye wo right. But British passport nobody have a right to get British passport. And ye privilege and ye atonya. Until they can choose to give it to you. Me pacho lawyer number ni dey take course. Wasa ye kono na ye busa lawyer. Lawyer ka bibi e wa abra me ba be busa the question bi e wo ahase. Enti mo amhwe me on TikTok no person obusa lawyer any question emfa enem komo ne ho a obetimi a request ana betimi aba eye phone ne so ye no betwetwe komo. Lawyer Emi e number e 077. Lawyer Emi number e 077. 07787327985. Lawyer me number 07787327985. Wow, phone this no me pick your why. Ma mo show on TikTok no person. Yes, thank you very much. Me that say me pini entoso. Wow, wo share no person wo baso a metimi apeke lawyer wo ka bibi no wo ka say omo a new law aba a new law no mo se wa wo be akromi ha a wo fa eye desert so e na wo be akromi ha wo di ntunhwemu obi nkrata obi passport e na wo geye e na wo de be akromi ha e bia wo ba ha especially continent for no obi wo wa wo say oh UK de wutimi fa ensuo so ko UK de wutimi fa ferry etimi drive o edo fa ferry etimi de fa Eurostar na wo bi de obi nkrata abakromi ha ewura kromi ha meaning say nipa ni entry home office for the aba say wo koye wo naturalization they back it way back 2018 no ma hwe wo entry a wo de ba ha so wo ni entry a wo de be wura kromi ha say a ye mfa British passport no emma okay ye beba ye question so me pick course na ye bra hello me pacho wa phone this no obi a wo ba so me modi yes darling sweetie good evening me dog ba nya me da so hire o mo na esu so ho ye
me ba cha yes ye ho ye pa Pacho pese bi busa lawyer ka she bi kafra me free Spain na ba ye wo ho na me so me fa e kwan no say the lawyer e ka yes you say me kwaje me passport no enti me wo Spanish identity card no ene na me di rem eno na
de wodi rem na ye obi dia
oh
that's good oh far from enti woni entry oh when lawyer mean kasa lawyer so what the person kire wona say onu akura ne ID card eye wono ani din sa ID no eno na wo de aye nkrata
ne enna me dia bibi
enti wo be ye refugee ana say there be ukuru na ware wa ha
ne
when na wunya na chese back date 2018 na
minya 2019
to affect you
5 years
okay wo ID enti no woni lawyer nkasa why fellow ye mienumre ya don't worry woni ne nkasa hello me pacho wa wo phone so me pamcho me fa phone mienu na ma fa we mienu enyi fa enne ensem ne ho kra betimi abusa lawyer so di me pacho yenko wa wo phone so no me pacho good evening sweetie
Michelle lawyer.
Mpacho Joso. Emi.
Mpacho person lawyer 2 questions.
Enye ye ntem na
Mpacho yo. Obi okunu oyire omo ba kum omo ba omo ne bai no be di one. But e wo from ha. Omo mi enu nya de aho body ne bai. Uje no sa na kwa no be di bai.
Omo miensa nyina, omo miensa so omo ba ne ka ho omo ye miensa. Into omo miensa nyina de nsra hwe ne baaye. Ba kra ne ba ne mu oni 1 year fe no abenya 1 year e wo krom. Obedi 1 year.
Obenya 1 year wo krom ati si wenya 4.
Wenya 4.
Obedi fi sen ansana. Obetimi apply.
84 years ni nyina ne papa ne maame no omo mpenkrata akira kwan ho. Omo twa omo ba ne de. Jo, and I was second question na say you two na minya ama lawyer.
Question ne so you have say I know about housing. You have say bia obi te Campbell no be so relocate to e bia Chelmsford but on Sabaro ni muda. Obetimi apply for Campbell house straight away.
E no de me kra me you ano untimi apply onte ho. Enti age se wonya address ba lawyer me pa cho brema ni 2 questions. Ba ko ye akra wa be kromi ha e benya 1 year. Obetina how long and when you kromi hankrata amane papa munso anya bi housing or timefa ne so so te Camberwell or person or kotena Brighton and Chelmsford any area any borough or beye den me ba chofa to suneti a lawyer.
All right inti there's a route for the child no obetimi a train 7 years akola no betimi apply for indefinite leave to remain. Na se ope krom hankrat ankwa dia se akolani di 10 years obetimi I register as British and yet an automatic right but obetimi ayeden I register is a home office application. So I hope that answers that one. The next one, housing question I will be saying, can you move from one borough to another? So borough hopping into Southwark or Chelmsford. The answer to that could be a no. There's a yes and a no. So one borough, you are housed there perfectly. Now person another borough. That's fine if you are privately renting or you're going to buy. But so council and helper. It is, for example, so ukotna ubin chain with in Chelmsford. Let's say, for example, wakotna ubin chain. Utna ubin chain. Let's say even just as somebody who is just lodging with somebody. Utna hono. Omoyo then homeless due to maybe overcrowding. Homeless. So make homeless. There's a definition to that. You don't have any housing, any alternative place of residence or place to lodge or to stay. And no, they are different. It's more of an emergency. And when you look at homelessness, no, so almost share with circumstances. Ebi na wonkola, ebi na yari serious yari mpi inso ebi na we a vulnerable adult. It may be so many things that they are considering, but say a homelessness wako lodging with obi in that borough, afeno onipakrono air too. That is a completely different ball game. Then it can be looked into as a homelessness application within that borough. And to say unyo be a year too dear uniho dada. You have to be within the borough, and now you're being made homeless because of a situation. Now I consider. But frame na
say me pacho wa wo busa eye lawyer say ehe no mo locate na me pacho mo locate was Stratford. Lawyer me number no biom I'm repeating again. Eye 07787 327985 07787327985. Me pacho ABTY enko ABTY may that say amen.
Wait, my question no good character way no na me person me yeah we kakra. Yeah, funny say obi de make parking tickets. Essence me can hear me dear me dinner that's they write to me like addressing to me but me swear ba na me dia komani pan. Or me location near there and me call brother but nipa na obeje ka na edie. It's such a situation is it also going to affect me in any way if I want to say me person me koje?
Yes, e be affect you. Lawyer breme be affect you because say una ka na ye wo dia e ye wudi mu. Enti na be affect you nti better na se tuaka.
Can dia ka ye tuatua free o, but me no me interested.
Good character na se be affect you. I say ye wo wudi mu nti e be affect you, but lawyer se frɛ no. O se frɛ na never evidence ni nyina e ma no.
Me patcho na my last question about naturalization. So me person me yema me ba. Yamfa say me sika sem wo foma. E ho no like aban.
Oh, woni problem. Tiwa, won sem ni nyina e de dodo frɛ lawyer. Me ma lawyer kura mem. Aban no wo ba ne ya kura no betimi aye fee waiver for naturalization.
Okay.
Why?
Okay.
Aban ni betua ba lawyer free die aban bi entua lawyer fee ma ti frɛ lawyer mi. Na entwetwe eye enkomo. What time can I call lawyer? Now, ubetimi afre lawyer sabre ya. Why? Me pacho. Yo, me pacho why na ye next caller? Nyako switi yanko midofo.
Thank you, this Abna. Me pacho median year housing. I think the last year no, my worry uni and all me
pacho jina so na ine
so 5 years. I think I need absolute more. The friend is saying indefinitely. Now, me didn't qualify by August, last year August, I'm about July, August, and I'm on Cobo Monsa. Now, this thing, then, in my maybe to say I'm on card and as a resident, and I ain't see your friend is saying, me because them and Nini. Tinkwa muchem kakanti me ko debi amete no so ne yetumi because na one room na me ne kwala no enti ye ko housing ho like ye ko claim me homeless because of my letter and ye ko ye enti letter no eche say e was see in 228 enti me ko no si o okay me fa me share code ni no man bra and I me de ko ye later after mo to se me cobra. Okay, yen change 28. The time is so 28, no. And I'm from, I think it's 27. I'm from Namkacho say. They say no. The aye no. Me baby I'm in one of so fan palane bra. 28. And I'm koi. Meaning palane paki no man me koi. You do one no so okay. Say no. Palane na 18 a year mau. 18 palane no ma when. No so. Send me could tell me 5 years and now. Last 3 years or so, Home Office was sending me email saying, me want to 2035 for me to apply for the investment.
Not just a woman, no ye you dependence here. And to walk no no also a jet diamond and you.
Oh, okay.
Become back to say you are not entitled for benefits.
Because me when so all man kasa.
Yes, so you need no we qualify for benefit but we main applicant you no and when it's come to a dine who kunu no na beje dine the ama when the grand crata.
Oh, okay.
Enti no big but enkrani safeguard enti no e wo so mama baby uni lawyer nkasa enti o mama
enti honestly say enkwala ni we ni my dia ende omuntimi emwane
anan krani susu enkrata no mun krata no
say I July krano menya 1 year and so still
omun krata ne mai woni lawyer mi nkasa ada papa no na akotwa mu ana wakọ hange akwa
ono body onim na ha ikwa ntine mpese me
wonim na che so fa akire na odi baaye enti na maaye no enti na hye no hey yeah brother we are smart okay friend lawyer
na some more than kakra ntine
oh but no matter how what you say obeti ni nyina ye kashi eni nyina ye prema wone lawyer nkasa on say so wo befa wo bi achi aye ade de maame swiri emwa what you say wone lawyer enkasa wone ne kasa wo beboa na yahwe enkra no well built no housing na wo so mo ma akora enkra ne baby but a die there ukunu na mema wunya bi.
Okay.
What's a candy? On INS call I am.
Yes,
I
I just say normal answer. So that me bisa say eba ye betimi asan ko hobi mu na since omo say eba ye mbra.
Ah eba mo betimi asan ko ba wo ni lawyer mi nkasa 1 year de nkra ne nyoma na che.
Me pacho.
Why for lawyer mi enumre ya. Kandi me pacho ye nko wadade a memfa Big Mama.
Pacho amewie.
Aha nye wa Candy me pacho Big Mama ye nko. Ma mo phone so no me pa cho pese wo fra number ne 00 na go screen is no 00447502427990 00786170500200. Yes darling, Candy what nyane? Okay, yenkwai.
So, Miss question said, my overstay I have for 3 years. Now, we decided to meet me. And I'm afraid it's me. I'm a man and I just said,
I just saw Ghana, but say I wore bemua. So would ya obey me? I am a waha, obey me, you so a cranaye. And now say, Brit meaning, when you're Britain, you need not or no ne ba. Only lawyer min kasa. Eba wo relationship ni mua.
Okay.
Why? 20 lawyer, min kasa. Me pacho Big Mama yenko. Big Mama, Baby Nash. Big Mama wada.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, darling. Yes, me pacho yetie wo, lo yetie.
I'm a fashion.
Me pacho lo yetie.
Me fashion hello.
Yes, darling, sweetie, yetie. Me pacho lo yetie wo. Baby Nash.
Sorry. Let me give me headphone of food. Me pacho. Me ya British ni. Na me shia obi. Honestly overstay ya. Na ye shia by 5 years in this year na 5 years now. And can percent ni a trials and kaba a wo be bananka. Ye did akana ye sumaya ma try mba. Ye worry so suntinanka. Ye see you coffee, the only option see be coffee. And I said bibi be chere say name yare no we want to make coffee. Let's have the only option see be coffee. Now me pa cho say ye coffee no. Forms na ye be feeling. E be feeling so you na me kofa na ba. And I said Mentias here because me already and I'm mentias into the lawyer show me bonus I said it. And also by speaking and listening.
I know the Ghana na kofa na ba obetro brofo obey speaking and listening. I say what the name ko mo ko Ghana dia. Enti lawyer me pacho bremu also wo mo ko Ghana na. E dey forms no obefile so Ghana no kofa na ba. My sister also ukunu watena house overstay. Yeah, better say before I will be 29 day free kromi ha no. Enka woni lawyer nkasa. Ukunu no kwa betimi de na ba because woni ne that 5 years prove ne dia. Okwa betimi de na ba.
Me nurse ni me more than 29,000.
Oji more than 29,000 no. Yes. Enti woni lawyer mi kasa. Ubetimi lawyer mi betimi aboa okone obebechina echina ka 20 no wa ha. Because wo sa 5 years prove no e wo ho se woni no na netie ba watena ha overstay entie no and the be dinti you need a lawyer.
Oh, okay.
To ne lawyer mi nkasa obekọ ono abekọ ne kọ na wakọ akọfa na ba
nje be ni se wo Ghana na me de ne ba na se na be platform so ko ha na
aha woni kromi ha se kroma de wo ha wontimi nware no lawyer mi me pa cho wo memu bi anase sister mame frɛ lawyer because ha ye kwa ho nso obegusa ne dɔɔso enumre ya wo betumi afrɛ no ye wo so ya ye kase ya betumi afrɛ no why okay. Big Mama ne number ne ye 077 8732 7985
okay
why o frɛ lawyer mi sisi a wo no ebetwetwe eye enkomo eno ne be easy ama me da say usual 5942 ni de ka ho. Hello, usual 4 no, usual 5942 42 Yemquay. Hayford. Yes, darling.
Pacho, good evening.
Yes, sweetie, good evening.
Pacho, madam funa me bisa adeka kramano.
Pacho bisa.
Oba ha as a skilled worker. No the new kun na eba but omu deny ni kun entry. No me de call Ghana. No opeso who say ne indefinite.
Omu deny ne entry no me de call Ghana. That means he say oba otimi free Ghana ba kromi ha no mu detain
airport ho.
Ewo kromi ha.
Ewo krom ha.
And omu de ne call back to Ghana.
No me de call.
In what grounds?
Almost into mo believe so mo wa ne.
Na wo man frɛ wa down for na nurse ni na skill worker na wo ha no man frɛ no.
Omo frɛ no and omo bisa ne say ni kon ka bibia but yes still.
O man fa na man yo.
Omo so sure say the 5 years ni be true. Omo fa ono ni indefinite money because maybe no man can say omo wa we ni nya wa pana.
Okay. Lawyer me pacho bramai. Ni kunu no ya ma na enwuram no muhu say deception wo baabi no. Se ono no e kwaje ne indefinite ono also the skill worker ho. Ono ni 5 years ne so no okwaje a it will come against eno ana because of wo muhu say deception bi akoma ware no sham marriage no. Inti e de be ma ne ko no ebe affecting the indefinite na umbeka say that means say wono so amfa kwan pa so no be kromi ha.
Not necessarily. So you are implicit and no can say you are part of it. No can of course it's a marriage, but false or fraudulent documents or information umbetimi aye den akatele wo visa ahono umbekatele. But if nothing has been said, you've not been notified of anything, then you carry on as the main skilled worker till you finish your time here on a 5-year route, on a 3-year route, then you renew. But once I went through 5 years, now you apply for indefinite because you've not been notified. But in some cases, they can come back to you and tell you, say, because deceptive information. Maybe a time now, no information or the more no information no more. It's two different things. It's deception and no dear. Bet me at night and also say once would dear. So if they wanted to, if there was probable cause for data and commerce and they will email and I letter da before cry catch us almost saying crata no iti. But say bibian ya it should
say beginning no so momre wo hwe wo mon kan hwe nkyere wa don't worry kona kwaje we indefinite na bia nso so a omo twen wo for due day indefinite no omo no wadi nkomo enti no so mon kan hwe nkyere wa don't worry kona kwaje we indefinite no why
actually me friend lawyer.
Oh yes, of course friend lawyer me why legend yanko sweetie na ho ye Saturday the akwanti omu nse mbeba so live Easter ni my busy meba cho yenko ene busa question back o question me no friend lawyer dia Joso
me busa back na se bia space of me we dey me top question no aga ani e person you busa o dey me busa back
I say line so why busy nti ampa cho why
say yeah mo ya na ye exception exception
Yenko.
My question is where the amfa we no ho kura but. On say yi visa sem ne share code ne ho anwan se ma ba ya yi misu card. Me mfa ne say me pese me apply visa e bi a me kopa American visa na say me pe EU visa bi na bibisa. On say nka me wo kromu a me wo resident no. I wasn't coming to me ID a cajon, but a nay, Kura ID. Quite ben a mefaso de approve actually country corona a person me cost one, semi were resident, or harm almost were verified.
Lawyer Breme, what's it your kind? Lawyer Bremai. Lawyer, unmute yourself for Homa may you had why because when mute you.
The question is, they said, we are offensive residents. I want to mean,
Say na say na ye free ye use digital share code no ye plastic card no ya stripping it out from the system no so wo tu kwan akọ obi man so a die no betimi a kire se wo won krata e wo krom ha legend paper cho sa na kan
Bia me fan say me ko apply American visa. Me wo kurumu a me resident wo kurumu a me ko apply American visa na say bia me ko Schengen visa. Akọ be a na me ko Australia. Ba first no nka me wo me card a me de be kan.
wo de be ka ho akọ wati ase
But ni no me nkura.
Lawyer de no de be ka ho e de akọ American embassy ho akọ kire.
That's a very good question, Legend. SL call the gov.uk website. So now what printing with status online because who printing with status, it will tell you what your status is. So what limited leave to remain, Rebecca. So what settled status and also Rebecca. I mean indefinite leave to remain, and so it will be there confirming your status. It will your application via no one say what printed their account or application, their account or passport. Come to prove the type of residence you have.
Good evening.
Me patcha me dia bana yes darling good evening. If you know what that my first small p my name kasemi.
And patcha my question is say me application be 1 year ago. Afiaso ba maintain ho hwe na me try me ba so na the application.
Wo ba na wo gina ne so the application 1 year.
Me patcha
Omo membusa wo hwe.
Me dey be omo bisa be hwe na maintain ho hwe so.
One year na wo lawyer na ye.
Lawyer na ye mami.
Okoba wo nsa no wi omo mebusa wo any evidence bia.
The day na me kobo nsa no mo kan se omo pay documents to be ba me submitting on the following day.
Lawyer, why your application wo gina ne baso and na wo de age 1 year ni wanting in can say dem say 6 to 1 years until one train.
Yes, application. There's no standard service time. It's a kind of at first it used to be 6 months, but say no, I'm more scrappy no. So it can take 12 months, it can take 15 months, it can even take 18 months. There's no set time. So sometimes what they say is who complaining, they say is of complex nature. Sometimes who call her back, then they come back with further documents over here. But what you have to remember is so back and they haven't asked for further documents. Can't be you just have to wait. You just have to wait for them to get back to you.
Okay, this time I'm patching me chairman.
Yeah, Joseph sweetie.
I'm patching me beside me say me daughter or nya say when ya 12 years or ba ye ba hanana or 2 years or nya 2 years na ye ba ha. Eti na me pese me bisa say metumi age krom ha enkrata ni bi amano anase opapa no so wo settlement by for now no me wo 2.5 years road no to ono no so da so bi etina me pese me bisa say obe metumi afiri eno no so akọ opapa settlement ne so anase metumi age
wo ye den na wo nya 2.5 years
me jina me ba so na me nya
na chese wo ba panyini na wo wa ha no wa wo wo ba panyini na wo de ne bae no wasan wo biom
ba try
enti wo gina wo first born na okura oye British no wo gina wo no ne so na ade gen krata
there be me dina third one no so na me gen krata
me ba I'm lost why na wo de ne ba ha
panyini ne papa wo krom ha
enti why na wo de ne ba ha na wo se ono na ye panimu no
Penny
ne papa kura nkrata ono na wo de ne ba ha no how many years
no fear me 2 years
and as I say wanya sen
wanya 12 years
tie say wanya 12 years into no oba ha watena ha 10 years into qualify
11 years mo no okoi
11 years into person obusa say or under 2.5 years no say no obetimi abe register to become a Britisher na class I want to indefinite no
obetumi akọ yi for the so na settlement no
o papa settlement no eso na won so person obusa say won so betimi afri with 10-year route no so no akọ papa
me dem me free so
akwani de na person obusa say or qualified to become a British ana say obetimi afri ne papa de ne so obetimi afri no ni 2 years and half na akọ ne papa de ne so
paper try
lawyer Bremer oba ha no 2 years watena ha 10 years but over 2.5 years so obetimi a register to become a British.
Okay, at this point, no. Okay, because SAR registration, section 14 of the British Nationality Act, it say you wo krom ha, you wo to krom ha, yeah, so basically born in the UK. Now, utnaha continuously for 10 years of your life. Now, you can apply to become or register to become British. And non see ho. Now, the only way I'll bet me apply I British is say one, when you're indefinite leave to remain, ebia or you're older than or you're adult until bet me I naturalize it as British. Or ebia whilst a minor. Now, when you're indefinite leave to remain, ni mame or kojin naturalization or kojin naturalization, you answer you're British. Until you are using is a discretionary registration application. Discretionary. That is when or what indefinite ni mame so aje. Afe ni mame kon naturalize. You bet me add a separate application account for a discretionary registration application. So no that change. Now, when can the child get settlement? Can the child get settlement just like father? If papa was settled status, or bet me be yes. You will point be a bet me a dear among aqualano and so na yeah. That's it. Yeah.
root no so
Akọ ne papa indefinite no anti lawyer se friend no bebo ama mama ye
me patcho mati lawyer and you start na me that's be
yo me pacho tina
No start now.
yes darling me da so ati no gift no me da say
Oh, okay.
me pacho
Good evening.
yes darling
Pacho, because me bisa lawyer say me was co-worker visa so. And also me entitled to work 20 hours aside my main job. And see me konya adwuma bi na na okashwa me say metimi aye 24 hours a week. Na say me ye adwuma for 3 weeks no. E be possible sir.
24 hours
12 hours a day. It's in Kameko 2 days. Now 24. The following week, no 2 days. Now 24. Now the following week, no 2 days. In 1 month, nice and come here 2020 now 18 no. Come here 72 hours, but maybe soon no. 24 na me bisa lawyer say be yeah affect me.
lawyer instead so be 20 hours no or say company ni so betime 24 hours possible sir because a skill worker for no omutimi 20 hours aside main job no but we also company ni say 24 hours okay
No. Me pacho. Yeah, I say stick it to Imrano because bet me I check it. You know, they can check. They can check how many hours you've been working for because almost checking will pay. You know, and it will be BR. They can check to see how many hours you have worked. Into my careful of Sardian. If it's 20 hours, let's remain steady on the 20 hours. My for so I think we should stick with 20 hours. That's what I think. Yeah.
course bia biom monfrɛ lawyer ma mo so 11 people ama hold mu ni nyina no monfrɛ lawyer wati mesrɛ mo lawyer wo mrɛ ene obefa wo bia akọ yo nana kofi enko
sister na me pa cho me chia one lawyer
ye jo so sweetie
ya da maseso ne adwuma pa mo ya boa ekuro
that's it
lawyer pa cho me kusa asemi ya madam fo bia ba yo overstay e wo kuro ma mfa o se wa ba yo overstay be 4 years wo kuro ma na wabeshia abaya bi akokura indefinite ya abaya no sukura emami yenu entina mi bisa lawyer se ombetimi aya ware okurum ha bra onkofi ana se sister na okura indefinite na opo na ma na hwe ne mba no obetimi agina ngwa no so agye nkrata okurum ha na medas
in Krata or Krumha. I think so. That's the question, isn't it, sister?
washia will be wa nipa no won kra na oboa nipa no ma ne hwe enkra no ba nkra ne life modern nkra ne ko school wo dware wo mo okofo mo ba wo betimi ayesu nkra na enye ne ba no in the relationship no na ono so they are obtaining enkrata na if yes how long was so new sister no and nkra that the same address so for 2 years and I say it doesn't matter.
Right. I say I understand the assembly. There's case law. I say if you are a step parent and I was stepping into the role of a parent or of a father or of a mother, right, then it's something the Home Office can consider favorably. It's discretionary. Now, so you're a partner, you're not a step parent. You're not a step parent. You have to be married into so what warrior na ubeye in Kolana step parenter. Now as a step parent, was stepping into the role of a father for those children. Yes, and they point at her. And marriage, no, it does not mean that you have to be married for 1 year. It could mean that you're married for 3 months, 1 month, 2 months, providing, say, you are now a step parent and you are now stepping into the role of a father. Who didn't Kolanoco school, who drive more personal care, all of these roles that a father would play. And a one was stepping into that role now. Home Office and person split family up. So they would definitely try. We would try and be persuasive as we possibly can to make sure say in Kratamo. Inti Pachayana wa fraying yebeya man why? No problem at all.
Enti bomodiana one lawyer enkasa me pa mo cho ye mfa course bia bi mo am friend no number eni 07787 lawyer number ni 07787 327985 ma mo hwe no Rose me pa cho number no 000044 77 87327985 lawyer Amy 00 wo friend na woni kromia obibu say lawyer Amy answer course from WhatsApp na me patron ane yes or answer course from WhatsApp until wo friend on WhatsApp lawyer ebe you are no say please auntie abana can I get lawyer Amy's number patron na make kano 07787 327985 lawyer Amy and number also please kindly ask lawyer if it's advisable for an illegal parent to apply for a fee waiver. Yes, of course. To me apply. All right. Etie for ni adofo me pacho mo amenti me answer mo question mo fan che me mesre mo. Eno nti na me twa so na mo timi afre lawyer na any question bia mo person mo busa lawyer me no. O ye free anadwe ya wonya nai ono no obeda 1 o'clock. enti me pacho na adwuma no enti monfrɛ no ofra o kasa buku appointment a bia na won koma apeso ne di no very delicate anase ejemre enti o kacho say okay booki na minya time emma na menkyerɛ wo nneɛma mu ana bra office ebehumi ya me pacho kɔ because nye nkomo ni nyina na ebetimi edi no phone so ebi wo ha ye kwan ho wate ase enti frɛ lawyer na wone no entwetwe enkomo lawyer ye da se bebre awrade enhyira me pacho san kyerɛ wo kyerɛ kwan bio because ne nkofo I just called but her assistant answered. Okay, all right, that's fine. Yeah, kasa ya no bi wo wa ono so pick course ntina make us a frɛ ye wi a ono ebe kasa lawyer me pacho san kyerɛ mo kyerɛ akwan bi because ne nkofo obusa ba bi a mo locate na wa asem etwa to a wo pese wo ka kyerɛ adofo.
All right, what in the heart of East London, Stratford, 14 Claypool Road, London E15 2RJ. So we'll buy your office. So make sure say by Stratford Station, Stratford Underground Station, and from there we are about 5 minutes away from the station. Right, me that's it. Inti dear Masama made it to wanna say naturalization is the end of the line, the immigration or the end of your maybe immigration history. It ends there. A BBI very delicate. A BBI so yeah, so everything has to, all the dots have to connect. Yen sase BBI ye be free. Emra da ho a ese so yeah na emra kwan so because Kai said, as I said, naturalization, there's a lot to lose. Odeko na omo refuse here. £1,600 it goes down the drain. So what is advisable? They said, at Abinel solicitors. Na yebe tumufo, yebe ma the necessary advice I obey here. You bet me a application ye. Inti to conclude on this, they say I think say we can say offer my assistant picked up yes because we were live show no so. However, my men took move. Meno, I can't wait to hear from you. Me pese me timunka na me timin boamo. Inti what I would always suggest is a moon frame na yem book appointment na behume because me pese is either say a bet na say one-on-one because a lot of the times no de be kano yentimin kind of phone so it's not appropriate. Ebin so na de u kano ye betimi aka no phone so ebetimi aye easy amount ye booking ma wa ye betimi have it on WhatsApp or even Zoom ni nyanom no. Let's have a personalized time, a time I set it amawo na me ni wa atna se aka asem no mu ube say at that time no you'd have my undivided attention. Question bia opesa obisa ye no. At that point, we will be able to sit down and resolve it with you. It's move frère, move book your appointment. It may be, as I said, to mean 2.m by Stratford crew so, but you can have it online. It may be said the mobile channel is very sensitive. To me kind of phone so. I just say ushia one-on-one. Na yetimi no kasa ni nyanom no hamamo. Me nko bibia aha me serve mo. May serve community, so just call, book an appointment, and come and see us. Sister Abna, Medasepan.
Yo, yeta lawyers me pacholo ye mi number no once again me send repeat biom. Wo person won ne kasa wo betimi afre no wawie into obi afre no 07787 327985 lawyer Emi number no ebiem wawie enti wawie ya afre no me pacho 077 87327985 077 87327985 Abinel Solstice ne no mo twetwe nkomo no every Monday evening bia no ye ne lawyer mi ba ne na betwetwe enkomo lawyer mi erade nshira ye bekasa meda wo bibiara as meda wo busuafo nyina ase mechia mosh why ka che se bekasa me kanfo best deal door to door shippers e dia amount say for best deal for na no mo entwetwe enkomo wo pesa wo de wo nuama ekọ Ghana na genuine way na ekodura sundue mu a se dem be fa no sa na tie me patch of for best deal door to door shippers na ne no entwetwe enkomo me kanfo brago catering services dia amount se for ma me brago na ne nye wo party wo wedding wo bibiara Kumasi market for ni chire Kumasi market pekam ne kodi wudwa nyina ewo Kumasi market ewo pekam Francis snacks to nensa ede from a pacho wo ye part wo ye wedding afre wo mo no me ye wo pastries nyina enfama pelito shito dildo shito wiwa me pacho fre pelito na wo ne no entwe enkomo wo pese wo fie wo installing new boiler wo cooker wo fridge and cooker wo pese wo installing cooker gas electric gas cooker electric cooker gas cooker opese we install anasa o boiler ewo wufie me pacho bomodin ana ne me kasa Saturday nyame adoma me ne enua ne be kasa no no a kire nuoma wo ye ansa ne me frase aka enho asem me da wo bibiara ase me hu ma che me say Easter ni nyina no mama program so na me lawyer fo no nyamea omode no mo nyina tutu kwa omudi bronya omudi Easter omudi ni nyina ebi afa ne ya come back to ejuma enti nyame ya adoma wo behu me akwantiemu nsam de mafia akwantiemu nsam pa nyame ya adomo a mo behu me this Saturday ye mompaye mo behu me this Saturday nsam namba na ebusu na edoso me da wo bibiara se ekine nyame ya adomo a redemption hour pray until something happen ekina bra na ye ni apaye no mapaye nware apaye nsra apaye enhye apaye atade bra ne mompaye ekina fa wani kire elephant and castle who was south who was north who was east who was west hey what say London na ma asori bompaye media paye medwaria paye na wo te ho na wo sori a wo de adonke who you are na la sorry ne be bompaye meant na wo sa adonke bra ne bedia paye brande bedware apaye echina redemption hour wajie mre fa hunie ni emre beje wa ware beje won krata beje wadwuma befa wade papa bi efa adie bibiara obonefo atena so ama brabo aye rough enyoma ye dem wo bibiara ekọ nanim wa brabo mu no wonko ade wo kọ wachi wo yi adwuma wo hu ano wo de wo sinyoma na emfi wo hata enwo na afo se chaka sister brother wo tie me sa wo twi bibi na ma na bibi so intimate na se nefa won santo de merefam entena se mensu me pacho complain doson na fufu atwa wo ho ahia wo ye complain wo kasa bebrebe kira mo no omo srew fabra ne fabedi apaye wo giemre ebena de bia numre nonso wo bia timi bebom paye ni bi obi biara mentena se emma wo binto na adawo mentena se emmo bi nkankyere wo se den efiri se ye maame no mkọ asori kọ odi na omanya sister eno na aye bambo nti a woda so ti ase no brother eno na aye bambo bi a woda so ti ase no yes of course ye maame no mkọ asori kọ ye de na omanya wo manya bambo de ato so eno na enne ama wo waba be ye de wo tie enti sister sorry ne bebo wo ma ho ban sorry ne bebo wa ware ne ho ban brother sorry ne bebo wo ho ban me pa chow ebena de bia ye redemption hour ye pray until something happen bra ne bebo bibaji wade pefra bra ne be ye life insurance eto wabrabo so men kan kire me se ma abana me de me wo misika me wo madwuma me yo me nkrata ma ware me wo me ma hey sister you are a joker brother you are a joker wo bi kura sika pem o pawo akora ba akope wonya bi enso wo sika waye IVF mu multicalus ebi ma but osuru bie na osuru kasa sa sika na wo na ade ko ya IVF no mentana se me pa chobra ne be fa ne firi ne fa ko wo be kura sika wo kura British passport enso ne license wiem yes okura yi yunkrata ne license wiem enti men kan kire me se ma bana e de ne mpaibo me de me pebia menya da bi be bompa ye ne tenase na enjoy blessings erade dia blessing na enjoy blessings erade dia blessing wa ba abrochire wo bia sa wo na ase anwia se wo abrochire na wa kono wo be ba Ghana me ahwe What's your bruchiri? What's si dying and down order so see? How many years to 30 years no see me? Yes, some will party a Ghana holala, unto nurse will be munda, and now you soon you are mammy, sister, brother, me power cho redemption hour, every Tuesday, and 1 year could dear pie no ma pie dradia pie, a sra pie, a sharp pie tardy, wo bomb pie no who so beer, a dance dear ba, and kunimu dear ba, I are to me ya what dear, will be a what that blood pressure drew so 32 years. My God. Last week Tuesday, ewura this Sunday the ni munyam na ewura di peja nensa. Nia wo kidney ewura de enam na adomo so. A reverse kidney ni back la makato de brebe. Obi a wo cancer. My God. Ewura de enam na adomo so. Ama say why ye cancer free. Ewura de nam na adomo so ma wo bi a wo ye impotent. My God. Obi a ye impotent and ne wanya ne fa ahodie wo bia ye se ne ba ensuo ejina ni tirim ewurade nam redemption awaso ama wafo wawo afa ne ho afa ne ba enti wo terase ama wo bia bu abem he wo kwa asori no obi ka kire wo sa asori no menko a wo betimi afa won sa chi fa bona no so ka say hey Satan get away from me. Kase hey Satan get away from me on pewuye e chine nyame ya adomo afo ni kire Elephant and Castle wo biti Manchester wo ba be bompaye obiti Milton Keynes wo be bompaye last 2 weeks ye di Easter no and me maybe every Holland almost o ma follow Prophet Greg ache na wo munnim de awurade nam prophet so woman no Prophet ewurade nam Prophet Greg adomo so aye ediama no enti ye Easter convention no one ne ma ebebuku hotel from Holland what London what East Street Market what Peckham what Elephant and Castle what North what South what East what West oh ma sorry oh ma Tuesday mpaibo oh ma kwasiada sorry what ho afei na yare ne bo afei na asamoto afei na amane ne ba na wudwane ma bana me pacho Prophet Greg he na menya ne number ma bana sister brother sorry waka echina fa wani kire Elephant and Castle obia wo hwe mi obia enwememu ayede bra na beje won krata bra na beje wa ware bra na beje wa yaresa bra na beje wa djuma bra na beje wo fa hudie Elephant and Castle for bus for train busa kura kete me kwa Elephant and Castle wo drew Elephant and Castle busa wo bia say me pe Keddington underground enye yera kwan kura wo gina Elephant and Castle just walking distance o pesa wo nante 10 minutes walk me pacho wo drew Keddington underground bus 2 minutes per bus 133 196412 and a back Keddington towards Brixton me pacho 2 stops now we see Keddington underground 2 minutes we see ya baby a wo besi na wanimu ntentenso na no me pa wo chew wo be hu off license ana cost kata ewo wanim traffic light me pa cho traffic nim gina off license nanim for off license ne animu wa immediate turn left no wa turning wo be hu se park ewo ho park ne so a na sorry no ho no ewo me pa cho benadam paibo se ne awurade namoso de wogie ne fa hodie de adansidie hye nkofo asomo no mind blowing o pekuromi ha London ha baby ampaibo gidigidi tse Ghana benadadu wuku adadu fie adadu yesi ekọ Ghana empaibo gidigidi bebo woja hey maami pisa ne dem okra wo ho physical ne dem anajo midnight bia na okra abaho. For how many years? 4 solid years untimi kanene nguso na wone demo ho. Na wone demo ho. Mo amoba sorry no. Mo bebe witness. Na wo bi ka say, "Hey, empire book kesi bi koso Elephant and Castle." Prophet bi awurade de na basa to ne so wafre no. Enwema awurade de prophet ye nwanwa. Me pa cho to mirika na ko ho. To mirika na ko ho. Maami ji addressing ene odi mirika na obaye. Na obaye no ada no prophet amfre no. Oba enye nipenti na woba. Put that thing in your mind. Fasha wadwini mu se wo ba behwehwe awurade woni awurade bebompu ni mpu bi ko no awurade no waka woni asem se mo amaso amone so abre a mo ko mu buo no momra na me masafo awurade me wo ho kwan se megye mo mema ma ho me besua mo enti wo ba no enipa ntimi nsua wo awurade enti awurade wonam na adom so ene use Prophet Greg edia dansidie eba obie na no kasa kina won krata beba obie na no kacho say yare ewe say won ko ba bibia refiri ba ya yare so be adwuma enti wo ba fa hye wa adwene mu say Prophet Greg Martinenka ewurade na prophet iso awo obi awo pa awo enu asemo ba sorry mu testimony ewurade nam ne so ye nneoma enti menye wa adwene say onu nti na wo ba fa hye wa adwene mu say ewurade nti na wo ba enye sa wo ba na Prophet Greg amfre wa me bompa ya ma wa ba mu bebu na mmom senyame nti na wo ba asori a wo ba se de ye bompa ye di apaye etafra paye enum apaye edware apaye esra paye no se wo wa amfre wo mpo amfane sa anto so amompa ya wa de so a wo de ba wotimu say you are released. Mami baye adana obaye prophet amompa ya ma no wosenkra 4 years ontimi na adana wo baye no wo hwe eja wo hwe prayer eja bia aso ye di apaye no mapaye wo se abrochire ene ye bompa ye sei dabi o me edru bunada wo ba me menhya wigi o mechi miduku me twan yesu me kodi apaye no mapaye na me hya wigi a me de me di apaye me ye de ma no mapaye sa mami ba ya ye bompa ya wokoye no o se 4 years adano ne da woda ya ankasa woda sa kra okra bi ani wo ba ho agina mo bi ani wo ba ho enti the following week oba ye no na prophet peke no na prophet se wo me hu se nkra edi wachi na wonam no mo ye mia enkra moa ene di wachi prophet kanu di ato ya prophet kanu di esia na afi di atuma me no ne nkra manifested me say woni wodifo anyame afre no ni nyame wa pamu nhia ya jai kasa na wo kasa dodo Saturday meto wonkra jai kasa na wo kasa dodo woni die nye wa experience bi a wa hia no baabi anya no baabi nti de bi me pacho adie bi e original bi and there is a duplicate enti nye wa experience nti ugu nipa abem hey men kwa sorry wo de tena ho na mo obi mu abem na mo obi mpam free the presence of God say nipa no ye benfo ye bebunsam ono na how ono na ye obi a wo be ka kire wo se ensori nkwa sorry wo boa ka kire ne se wo ye satan empo woni ne neti asori dem no opamo no ka kire wo se he enye obi okwa asori bia na eye papa wo abonsanfo kwa asori satan kwa asori abayifuo kwa asori beye kanyan ye kwa asori nti obo wa ne neti asori dem no ye bayifo to okofa sofo asemoba enkabi okofa asori asemoba se hey jaya asori no aden no de wote wo no watwana no so twede wo se ta maybe nyai na aden na de wote ha enti me pacho bra ne bebompa ye maame no ebesine enu ama ba asori obi bedi adanse ye onya stroke for how many years nie wonenam oso watwa tikiti akọ Ghana akọ wura fom akọ wura mu akọ Jupiter na maame no ese obi ko Jehovah Witness maamo ba asori no you people were aware yesterday obi ko Jehovah Witness maame bi and was say maame no ntimi na wa wura ni ti ho nyina wo se ne ma ono ne makora to ni di se akufo ado wo so wa wura ni tiri ho nyina and it's true oba sorry maame the first day was Tuesday owura sorry wono na wo twa sakola bag kese bi bodachi eno okura crutches eno okura crutches wo say wo de achi ni Ghana wo wura from owura soro Jupiter moon ni nyina wakọ esifo maame ne ba sorry ne band na ededa eye nkofo nsa no band ne firi ne ha ebepem na ha wa hyehyɛ band different band ene gu ne nsa because ba bi obekọ bia na oto band ene gu ne nsa enti ose na danfo bi osori ahontimi no obenante apenda wone ne ma ene tie ne ma mpanyimfo bi kura ye doctor onye stroke na ne ho hyehye no ne ho ehyehye ne ho dwa no ne ho tete ne dura wie dura na dwokura de asa me ko ne ehwe gu ne so na stroke ne affect ne nante enti no ontimi nante papa one ne ma na tie ne baba akonso ye doctor enti maami se na danfo Jehovah Witness ni ene ka kire ne se me hwe wura baby di Abnas campaign na wuraba no ya wada bia wode sofu bi eba ni program so me ma follow sofu no for since pandemic ene maame no wan follow yentem Prophet Greg go by before pandemic ma follow no since pandemic na de wurade nam prophet ne so ye no enya sam ketwa or elephant and castle inti kwahwehwe no wasi oyi flyer asole ne flyer maame no eba Jehovah Witness ni no eba me platform so be yi Prophet Greg flyer edem sende na downfo ne se ji ne kwahwehwe asole me de me follow ne pa ba me nko na asole hoda je ne ko na ya resetu mi Awurade de ache prophet maami se wo obehwe no oba Facebook no so obehwe ye na me na me ya fe de akwantuom nsem no oba no waye interested e wa akwantuom nsem Prophet Greg ne de da bio because why wako asofo akesefo mu wo din enye din eye din a ene da bia meka sesika enka Abnas campaign mi was go because the whole world Awurade adom edin ne da ho the whole world enye din bone edin papa edin a ekromi ha wo me lenge no me ka bi ebem me sign me sing ne chato wa one word is authentic but me very calm very humble enso me nisika enti enye din maame ne se dabi na asofo mako mayese mewura Jupiter mewura mu ho ahwan ena maame ne se maame enkasasa hwe Awurade wo ho ofane a asen no de ayeni ya hyedie ne monyamu enti akora kete kora na wo no wo che ne panyini ebeba abegina ho Awurade be fa ni mu aye nsenkyere ne nkokorafo te ho enkokora ete ho Chief Limam onti ase ene yede Ghana president yesi so Chief Limam onyini sen Ghana president wanyini ensoso no de adedie na tono no wodie de nyame afre no it doesn't matter the age it doesn't matter the edin ai kuro ba yenya Ghana for de ye probi a wo wodin obi kura be lawyer ho a ma Abnas campaign wona matu di me pesa me no kasa and so I am not a lawyer. It's not by the name. Enye din nemum adomo no talk about the gifts shedi nyame di ni paneye enye din ene 10 gram kese e na make no me ni paketwa hwehwe wo humia me ye ketwa me ye very calm but Awurade adome kromi ha I carries power because ebem yes and so wumia me ye down to earth at the mouth ubia na mami esela me ma sorry no me nko was say na down free Jehovah Witness no san sende no was sister ko it doesn't matter waka we ya you say ko na down free one Tuesday and was me de me and me kwa sorry me kwa kohwe o behwe o ba behwe because why so wachina nti say wa bra afi kura de wonye wo mumu bia ani menye sofu bia ani ti me kohwe onna how many years ni onna na obaye obantem obaye ni yesiesie I remember nearly 2 years ni na onye so onko asori o na asori ya woko ba onu na sori ne kura wonye ne sofu ni because wachini ahotoma ayaresama enti okwa asori kwasi ala na okotana de ne sofu preaching nyina sofu ni gina nanim a onye sofu ni di enti obaye no oba no apokura asori no flyer wa print and also do obusa elephant and castle ne kedenti wa no di picture no prophet a picture chere fly away and what the prophet picture chere into a child say this prophet over her, this man of God over her, this man of God over her into a besign a sorry down home and obusa will be say me hwehwe sofu we say and almost say yes sofu we baby abnes campaign kwa sorry no and was say yes abnes campaign no almost say e kwa na wugina no oba ye nso me obeto me ne ye siesie ho oba ntem papa ye start sorry 7 oba be 5 oba ye en wotena me kai ne pa otena eye park ni so oba ye obehu ho no en wotena park ni so ne so ye start sorry en wotena park ni so ye start sorry makata to ti ta hey na me so wo hwe prophet slim gentle guy awujina wa ohwe na was ready there be onyo kase obubo se obubo ready onyo kagaraga just starting bible nem bible cause ye dia pa ye gidi mami bobi gidi okura ne poma na gidi kaish na prophet spoteno nem kom shed dem na mami ye tuesum osimintumi na nti hwemitiri ho hey prophet is a 9 woso wachini woso wako enne wo be wo se wo hie nyame tumi osoro ekasa poma we hunkura biom wo beda for the first time for how many years wo beda tisa akora foforo enne wo hu maame na wo hu you will love it enra ono akora osan be share ne testimony bi nyame aye bibia ma no obekasai o kasa wo go back to when na ode ba sorry enti make a kire wo se power pass power e china bra e redemption hour enie o hwe me wutie me enie elephant and castle wa Keddington number 1 Opal Street Paddlers Acre Hall London Keddington XC114HZ ba Tuesday biano what do prayer request ebeba what to Croydon what to Mitchell what to Streatham what to Brixton what to East Street what to Camberwell London Bridge Patem and call for every Melton Keynes Peterborough outside Benadam Bible because onim dia urade etumi ye onim dia urade otumi eye kwasiada uni asoreko na wo hwe me wutie me uni asoreko wo hwe me wutie me pa wo chopa asoreko emma ne nyansa no wakase me hu nyansa yenua be ma bia nya issue na eya na mo mama nka asem nkyere mu Ghana High Commissioner wo ho so wo hwe yeso ba nyo ne be ma yesika asem tunyanya papa wuso ankama nyo ne be boa yen first time I have encounter with this great man Ghana High Commissioner papa wuso ankama menene ti ho one on one so kacha me say campaign to Ghana for no mum pasori nko no mum pe ekuo enko ekuo ye secondary matter our advice is kuku a second but asori die me pacho pebiko pa sorry awurade abasada so awurade tumi na ho den ne wosra eye dwuma Bible believing church. Baby, I would see a pibiko. Bas wouldn't sorry qua me count for Flames of Faith Assembly, dear my bra. And when I make a banana skin pay me qua sorry, I wo adia o ye at the pack and me baby catcher. Baby a radia basani ni to me wo and me baby catcher. And to Kwasia de bia startia sorry 1 p.m. Area. Kwasia de we are 1 p.m. Me bacho. Area 1 the oko night kura wo ba beda kakra. 10 no sorry. 1 p.m. the same place. Elephant and Castle, Kennington Underground. Me pacho ewa fa bus fa train fa coach fa braho. Bus se ba ho die bebre ehwo nye yira kwan. Train station ye Elephant and Castle, Kennington Underground, Waterloo, Stockwell, Vauxhall and a Oval. But the closest train station eye Kennington and Elephant and Castle. Enti Kwasia de startia sorry 1 p.m. Bra betro wudi wo pa sorry a ye busuya. A sorry a wo ba you will fall at home. You will socialize. Oba wutimi say ma behu me busuya fo. Eye Flames of Faith. Kwasia da Tuesdays and no wo pon adwuma me pacho bomodin abra enkofi enkodidi because wo ba servings wo ho refreshment ho Kwasia down so sa all our meetings bia no ye wo servings e wo ho enti Kwasia da betwero wudin asori a wo hia mo a ye beboa wo asori a wo ba besuma wurade undiluted word of God bra wo focus nyina ye se wurade me pese me hia wo me pese me ni nyame bompu ni mbuate bra ne bedi nyame asem Kwasia da bia food for the soul and the spirit service nyame asem no teachings no ewura ye mo wo ba ewura the prophet Greg wo shira no teachings ankasa utimi tie nyame asem mo na ma no wa men na asem na no eye nsenkyerene. Lastly, Flames of Faith Assembly nyame ya adomo a ye ko beach nyame ya adomo a July 19th of July ye ko beach school amakwan enti obia a wo hwemie obia wutimi ba me ko beach skill workers mo ba brochire mo ko beach da momra yenko Flames of Faith Assembly ye ko beach as a family as everything beach wono ehwo ne be ye barbecue ye betoto ye nam barbecue stand this wo odwan mu a ne ye toto wo ho ye toto aponche ana odwan aponche ye toto aponche ye toto akokọ ehwo ena ye kwa akoye bibia ewo ho enti nyame ye adomo a mepacho bra ne betwero wudin obia outsiders obia timi ene ye ko beach ni bi obia baby a wo bia mepacho bra ema ye nko beach nyame ye adomo July bia odo ma be tu kwan kra ko Ghana na mo be tu kwan a ye ko beach ni ba ansa na mo be tu kwan ana wo de won tu kwan holiday won fa wo ma nko bi sister brother me pacho bra na ye nyina ye nko beach ukura wo koma wo ice chest waduane gum wonsu a wo be nom wo drink a wo be nom but asori no so be provide barbecue asori ni be provide banku ene tilapia banku ni tilapia de ni twie den eni amiko last year enkofo fili too much ye wo cater bi o ne banku de two enti apart from banku and tilapia eni barbecue na asori no e be provide no one kasa aduane of your choice fabra bia na ye vegetarian ye waduane egu ice chest wone wo ma wone wo nanfofo wone wo partner wone wo kunu wone wo yire momfamra ye ko countryside ekonomi ha wahia ponkoda ekonomi ha ba ha wahia yipreko ye namo a ekwa ho countryside wo ma no from tu kwan ye ni sika ye de ma no etu kwan akọ Ghana ya afiwi ye ni sika do mo ko holiday besene na ye nko beach organic beach anointed beach what I say ade dosing this year unko Ghana mo nyina mo mesene me enko agoto obia mesene obia ntro ni din o pese oba beach ni bia me pacho betimi ede ye mo me ana so betimi a contact me me de obema eye lady now all register eye beach no enti wo bia emesne ebeye kama yen socialize bra na yen nyina yen socialize afiaso sama ewiabo pie wate menhye dem sister pressure ne kura doso bra awuro ne doso enti mesro bra wate bra betwero wudi ne bonye den I think say 20 pounds or say 21 pounds or say 20 pounds for adults and then granny to say 15 pounds or say bra because coach ne yeko han enye asori ne ni coach enti bra na yenko wate erade nhira mo medamu nyina masenya me ya adoma echina minimu be hia ewo eye redemption hour echina enumre tichina numre obia mema wure mfio mesrew enkoda menna emfaw echina ye last Tuesday akwasi me free so echina ye last Tuesday of the month of April to be glorified, April to be glorified, April to be glorified, April to be glorified. And teaching dear redemption hour, God himself will be glorified. Echina brane bejo wonkrata na che. Echina brane bejo wawari na che. Echina brane bejo adwuma brane wradim fire reset to me and toss wate. Teaching nyame ya adoma mehia Jonathan onwoye echina mehia wo bia nyame nhira mo medamase. Think of for momra yenko beach obia beach obia metri ne bi obia everybody come and write your name yen nyina yenko beach this beach no ebeye
My lords, in my limited time, I will today of their citizenship without notice. I want to focus on the real-life impact of this proposed legislation, the consequences for communities, and unpick the notion that citizenship is a privilege, not a right. Modern nationality law starts in 1981, and for all its shortcomings, it was an attempt to bring into the system, through formal paperwork, those that were British. Let me repeat, those that were by right British. The state was formalising a right that already existed, something expressly stated by the then Home Secretary William Whitelaw during the passage of the bill. However, what followed with subsequent changes to nationality law and an increasingly hostile approach by successive governments of all colours was the appalling circumstances in which the Windrush generation and others, people who by right were British, were treated like outsiders, foreigners and aliens. Our hostility to immigration and immigrants was the climate in which we abandoned our own, who were by right British, even if they hadn't formally exercised that right. I lay out this background because this notion of citizenship being a privilege seems to be a popular but sadly ignorant mantra. Of course, immigration is not a right, but immigration and immigration controls are very distinct to nationality rights, and those that mix them do so because their flawed understanding does not see beyond the colour of someone's skin. Let me personalise it. My family, as many of yours, was a century ago citizens of the UK and colonies. They had rights. All those in the Empire and the Commonwealth did. When my grandfathers fought for the British Indian Army as British subjects, they did so as citizens. When the Windrush generation answered the call for workers and came to this country, they did so as citizens. When South Asians took up grueling jobs in the mills and foundries of Yorkshire, as my family did, they did so as citizens, as equal members of this country, a continuation of a bond that started decades earlier. It wasn't a conditional right or a temporary right or a right that we would try and take away from them and their children or their grandchildren in ever more cunningly creative ways, and it certainly wasn't a privilege. It was a right, one established through our colonial history, strife and blood and sweat, and even with those that gave life. By formally taking a British passport, they were merely formalising a right, not being bestowed a privilege. Sadly, the othering of our fellow citizens, which has happened over the years under Conservative governments, made worse, I would argue, by Labour governments with some of the most dramatically expanded powers of deprivation, and extended by the coalition government, This chipping away at this basic right of citizenship must now stop. And that starts with striking Clause 9 from this bill. We across this House, whichever party we belong to, have been part of the problem. Our respective parties have over time torn down that basic belief that all citizens in this country are and should be equal, and that as a citizen you are a permanent member, a fundamental recognised in case law, including in the High Court in D4, the case that has led to Clause 9. This problem, my lords, did not start with Clause 9, but it must start to end with Clause 9. This government's sleight of hand, this last-minute addition to override the decision of Mr Justice Chamberlain, an attempt at another incremental change with the hope that once again no one will notice, but with huge real-life consequences, this power grab by the Home Secretary is deeply dangerous. One that seeks to deprive someone of their right to citizenship without even giving the person being deprived the right to know, depriving them even of the right to check whether the Secretary of State had the legal basis or accurate facts to exercise that power. My lords, these proposals would mean that I would have greater protections when being deprived of my driving licence than of my nationality. And so a piece of legislation introduced but never used by the late Lady Thatcher's government during the Cold War to deal with treason has morphed, mainly during the Blair years, as an attempt to remove one man, Abu Hamza. And my noble friend Lord Moylan is absolutely right. Labour sowed the seeds of what we now reap, which is a catch-all law that covers around 40% of our ethnic minority communities. This clause is not a debate about immigration, it's a debate about our fellow citizens. These laws have the potential to include members of Parliament, their families, it includes our loved ones, our friends, our colleagues, it includes some of us. This is not scaremongering, this is fact. And this is why families across our country are campaigning to push back against the real-life consequences they are today experiencing as a result of years of incremental legislation. So in conclusion, my lords, my parents' generation, now in their 80s, always feared that their future generations would be outsiders, second-class citizens, that they would be told to go back home, told to leave. My generation always dismissed these fears as unfounded. Windrush, my lords, proved that these fears were not baseless. Clause 9 and the government's exponential use of deprivation powers compounds these fears. So I urge my noble friend, who is thoughtful and informed on these issues, to ask the government to think again and row back.